It is now Saturday morning. Thanks for joining us here. My name is Kevin Lighty. I'm the Chief Meteorologist here at WCIA. Again, with the entire team in-house with us tonight, bringing you coverage, giving you the very latest on everything that is going down here tonight. So, guys, let's talk about what we've got here. We've got several warnings out there. And Adam and Seth, feel free to yell at me here if you got something here to kind of throw in with our coverage. We're watching Jacob's feed is out there as he's kind of trying to get back ahead of this thing. These storms are moving really fast, and so because of the fast movement of these, it kind of makes it tough to keep up with them, but he's doing a great job trying to stay with them. You can see the eastern movement of this now coming across I-57 in a lot of areas. Now where those winds become a big threat in there for us tonight, and they're just anywhere along that line you can have some of that rotation. Effingham's getting it pretty good now, Adam. It looks like you're monitoring the camera over there.
Yes, and I'm also looking at some of the storms just north of where that tornado warning is too as well. Just out of curiosity, closer to Champaign County out there towards Dalton City and Lovington too as well. But let's take a look at Effingham. We've been talking about how this has been also a rain producer. That's probably the one silver lining with these storms rolling through. We've got the wind, we've got the tornado potential, we've got the strong wind potential too, but the one good thing that I've mentioned all morning too is that at least we're getting some rain, and Effingham is one of those spots. Hard to see anything right now here. Kind of reminds me a little bit of what Jacob had earlier on. We're starting to see more of the sheets of rain that we were talking about in Decatur earlier, and now looks like we're going to get a little bit of a changeover there from Seth. He's switching over from a different graphic. Wow, there's a lot of warnings just to the south of our viewing area there, south of the interstate there, well south of I-70, what is that, 57 and 64? Yeah, down there, they're seeing most of the activity, and we're seeing a little bit of that here into Effingham County as well. Wide swath of areas of severe thunderstorm warnings, mainly for the possibility of seeing those strong wind gusts here. Here's some of the spots we're kind of looking at for velocity here. And velocity is a great tool for not only looking at strong wind gusts, but also maybe seeing where some rotation is. And some of the spots that kind of catch my eye, obviously with the tornado warning there between Neoga and Effingham along I-57 there, right there just north of Sigel, right between Sigel and Neoga. That's the spot we're still watching here. We still have that tornado warning for. We move northward here. We're kind of watching that place by LaPlace and south of Beement there, a little bit more broad rotation than what we saw earlier. That's kind of something just to keep an eye on for as it gets closer towards Tolono, and actually just towards Champaign County too. And move northward there, a little bit more there if you could. Seth, you can see that there's a strong area of wind. See, we were talking about rotation, now we're talking about wind out there towards D-Land, Farmer City, probably getting some good wind gusts out there, maybe not severe. And then also Mahomet's up next for getting some strong wind gusts there towards 150 and 74. So again, keep that all in the back of your mind that not only watching out for tornadoes, yes, but also strong wind gusts too as well. We've been preaching that all day and through the last couple of days that this is going to be a big wind producer too if we get that severe warnings. And that's why we have a lot of warnings stretching all the way from Kankakee down towards parts of Iroquois County. That's one warning right there, broad warning there in Champaign County, and then down to the south too, embedded that is a tornado warning. But this is quite the potent system. Out towards St. Louis, they had quite the storms earlier on. Right now we're getting what's left of that along I-70 going from St. Louis now into the Effingham area, just north of town here. So it's quite the system to keep an eye out for. I know that Jacob has really been in some of the thick of some of those wind gusts out there now. It looks a little bit calmer for him, but I will say that it has been quite the kind of the mess there this evening. But these storms have been rolling through places out towards Springfield, seeing less and less of that precipitation likely here. I think we're pretty much done for the night for Springfield, Peoria, out towards Cass, Morgan, Menard County here. But Kevin, I think it's going to be still a long night for places like Champaign County. We're not even close to Vermilion County. No warnings for them just yet, or Edgar County. So it's a busy evening, right?
It is. It is. I will say this, near Neoga, I'm starting to see a little feature there. It's looking a little interesting where there might be some rotation there on that, and that's exactly where the tornado warning is, okay? So there's rotation right there coming into Neoga, now just kind of maybe just barely east of Neoga. That's right here. This is the rotation. This is where the tornadic part of the storm would be, and we're seeing that there. It would be, a tornado possibly embedded there with the rain, within the rain there, but I'm definitely seeing some rotation on this. This is Neoga, and this is going to be coming potentially into southern Coles County and the Lerna area. I'd be on the lookout there in Lerna. Jacob is on this storm. He is telling me in my ear that he actually might be seeing a little bit of a lowering there at least. We can only kind of see it when some of the lightning kind of illuminates the sky, and I'm monitoring his feed there because it's kind of cutting in and out a little bit, but I'm gonna wait for that car to pass you there, because those headlights coming from that car make it a little difficult. And then we can take his shot full, then take him as Jacob comes up to a stop sign. Looks like there's kind of a line of cars there. But Jacob, you are continuing there on 23. Let's see, what do you see in there?
Yeah, you know, Kevin, it's kind of hard to make it out, but you kind of can see in the lightning flashes. It almost looks like a blocky lowering there.
Yeah, I see it.
And
I see
look
it
at
on the
the
left.
radar presentation. I think it's going to be, that's right, I think it's going to be on the back side, which puts me in a good position to watch this as I get into Neoga, and kind of watching the road too to make sure I'm not running in. There's a lot of standing water out here too, seen on the sides, so we're kind of dodging that. But it's about 11 o'clock in front of me, some sort of blocky lowering.
Yep. There's
these low, scuddy-looking clouds, but visibility is so.
Yeah, kind of losing his signal there. Okay, so he's in kind of a rural area. We'll keep checking back with him here. He's in a good position to be able to kind of see things, and we saw that just a little bit of a lowering there. We saw it on the left side of your screen, like you said, maybe there on to his 11 o'clock there, and so we're seeing it here. That's Neoga right there. The storm's kind of coming now, kind of east of town, but that's going to be coming into portions of Coles County next. So as I mentioned, there's Lerna. Okay, Mattoon and Charleston are up here, but right now the rotating part of this storm is just to the north, maybe right there north and east of Neoga, and lifting to the northeast. Jacob, your camera's a little bit more stable now. We'll try to go back to you now and tell us what you're seeing there once again.
Yeah, so we're just rolling into Neoga now, and I think what I'm going to do is keep cutting east on. You know, maybe I should take 45 north and get up towards Trilla and Johnstown and Lerna and things of that. And but we've been watching kind of that blocky lowering there. There's rain in the way between here and there. It's hard to make out what exactly that is, or if that is anything. You know, I think a safe thing to do is to assume this is wrapped up in rain. But it's a little ominous here. You know, we've got that moisture coming up, and things are just kind of trying to do some little work here. So of course we're on the backside. Still plenty of lightning here. The rain has let up, but we're going to just follow this in the backside all the way through, so we'll keep you updated. I think, Kevin, I might zoom up to 45 from Neoga here, and then get to Trilla and Lerna and places like that, and that's probably how we'll play this in towards the Charleston area. So in the Neoga area now, you can see the lights on in front of me. I'm Jacob Dickey. Back to you, Kevin.
Yep, that's a good idea there, because I think this is heading towards Lerna. And what do we got right there? Okay, we've got a tornado warning. Okay, this is just coming in. So phones would be going off. We've got a brand new tornado warning here that just got issued for Champaign, Tuscola, Arthur area. Okay, that's just coming in here. So there you go. That we all jumped there as our phones went off, and that's probably kind of what happened there. Okay, guys, we've got a new tornado warning. This includes areas between Arthur and the Bourbon area, north and west of Chesterville. That's where the rotation is. You can see it right there. Okay, this is the rotation. So here's Atwood. Here's Garrett, southern portions of Douglas County. There's the updated radar scan there. Here's the rotation kind of coming through. And this is going to be lifting to the north. Okay, and check it out here, guys. Here we go once again, telling you about weather call. So I just got a phone call, just came to my phone here. And so what's happening is we get notified. We call you when there is a tornado warning. And so I just got a phone call here. Again, our weather call system is kind of proof of performance that it works there. So make sure you guys can get that as well. But let's talk about this, because now sirens may start to be going off in Champaign. I don't know if you guys, if anything's going on outside here yet. They have not sounded them. At least we're not hearing them here, because the storm itself, the rotational part of the storm, is still really far away. I mean, it's down here. It's down here into kind of southwestern portions of Douglas County here. So yes, Champaign, Savoy, Philo, Tolono, all of you under tornado warnings here right now, and we are seeing again the potential for a tornado right here. Rotation is showing up. You need to be taking shelter if you're down there in Douglas County, Tuscola, definitely Bourbon and the Garrett areas, and then kind of south and west of Posodum. Okay, so we've got several things going on. This Neoga storm that Jacob has been on, still kind of showing some signs of rotation. Now going to be kind of coming into the Lerna area. This is your rotation right here, okay, guys? And so this lifting there to the north and to the east, being your tornado safe spot if you are in Lerna. So we've got now, looks like two tornado warnings, but also, boy, there's some strong winds possibly coming into the Bement area right now, seeing some strong straight line winds there. So we're kind of monitoring a lot that's happening here at this time. Okay, so Jacob says he might have some tornado damage down there near Neoga. Let's bring up his camera. It looks like you just went underneath an underpass there. What do you got there, Jacob? We'll go ahead and take his shot full and let him kind of talk there.
Yeah, we've got some signs that are blown down and some damage here in the trees, and that circulation is really strong. There are power lines down on the interstate. Look at that power line there. We've had a tornado on the ground here move through northeast of Neoga. The interstate, there's a wreck up there where power lines came down on those drivers, Kevin. This is just north of Neoga here now. I-57 is going to be shut down at Neoga very shortly here. I think that tornado is down now, looking at radar now, moving towards Lerna, and I think it's moving towards Mattoon, Charleston. Looking at the damage here, this is an extremely dangerous situation, Kevin, with the interstate traffic and whatnot. So let's keep updated on that. If we can, send this report to the National Weather Service as well. Damage here at I-57 and Neoga, Kevin. Back to you.
Yep, that's right. I'm actually seeing it on radar there, even seeing a little bit of what we call a CC drop, basically a debris signature. And this is going to be south and west of Lerna now. So I think we definitely have had a tornado that has occurred, and we can confirm that by looking at what's called a drop in correlation coefficient. This is this color. You see how everything else around is kind of a pink color here? Right there is where we've had tornado debris lofted, so it probably came from down here through Neoga, but now debris is still being lofted into the air south and west of Lerna. Damage being reported there, as Jacob just said. Can you guys pass that along to the Weather Service?
Yes.
In the chat room there. Damage, some power lines down there, and I think he said some power lines down there along I-57. There were some semis there, but this is it right there, okay? And it's co-located where some of that rotation is as well. So we look at a few different things, and I'm going to bring up kind of the four panels of all of this that we look at. And so right there where some of that rotation is, and it's embedded in rain, you've got again kind of on the back side, and Jacob kind of mentioned this, it kind of felt like it was like on the back side of things, and it really is, it's not on that leading edge. And so you've got rotation. You've got a little bit of a drop in the correlation coefficient or debris signature there. And so that is confirmation of a tornado. Sounds like the sirens might be going off now.
Yep, they are. They've been going off for a couple minutes.
Okay, there we go. So sirens are going off. Now, that is for Champaign County. It's a whole different thing. We've got multiple things going on right now. So we've got several things that we're checking out here. I want to just go back up to our storm that's up here in Douglas County now. Seeing some broad rotation up there just west of Tuscola. Some of this rotation between Atwood, Tuscola, that's where we potentially could have a tornado. This is lifting to the north. Posodum, you need to be on the lookout from Sedoris down to Posodum. All of those areas there, under the gun, Tolono, and in Champaign, yep, that's why the sirens are going off. Savoy and Philo. A big area of concern as that is, but we have confirmation now, and there it is. The Weather Service putting out the confirmed. So you see the purple color that's there now? That's confirmed tornado. That means, and again, that corresponds to this drop. Right there it is. This drop in our correlation coefficient, our debris signature, that informs us that debris has been lofted up into the air. So the radar beam's going out, and normally it's hit raindrops, or hailstones. This time, the radar is saying, yeah, this is not the shape of a hailstone. This is not the shape of a raindrop. It's something else. It's abnormal, and so sometimes that can be 2x4s. That can be, tree limbs. It can be sheet metal, roofing, and so that has occurred back down towards Neoga, we think. And if we can, I might be able to even kind of back this up a little bit to kind of see where maybe that first little area kind of shows up, and it's kind of tough to see. Let me just kind of bring this back. Sorry about that. We're going to bring this back over here and kind of show you and just follow this. I'm bringing it back kind of one frame at a time. So see it there. Bring it back here. It's still kind of right there. So I think it might have been just there, maybe on the northeast side of Neoga is where we kind of got that first little blip of that showing up. So when it crossed 57, where we've got some power lines reported there and where Jacob was, and then there it is now on the west side of Lerna where there is that drop. So again, a lot of things happening here, guys. You've got a tornado, confirmed tornado, and it's going to be near Lerna, and it looks like they issue another one here, guys. Okay, another one for Pyatt and Champaign. So here's the thing, 12:15 a.m. A lot of people up with this here tonight. We want to tell you what's going on. We've got new tornado warnings that are coming out as we speak. Several of them, now including Pyatt and Champaign County. This includes Monticello. This includes Bement, Bonneville, Whiteheath, Mahomet. Okay, your phones are going off, sirens are going off, and we're seeing rotation with several of these storms. So there's a little area there north of Bement where we've got some rotation. Okay, if you're in Monticello, you want to take shelter. Okay, between Monticello and Bement. Again, your phones are going out. We're the same thing. Our phones go off in the same way everyone else's does. Okay, we've got rotation on a storm here north and west of Tuscola. Again, both of these, while present, it's a little bit more broad, but there's potentially something there, so we're going to keep a close eye on it. Let's take you back down to the confirmed tornado again in portions of now Coles County now, near Lerna. Rotation there. If you're in Mattoon, definitely be taking shelter there. We'll see what the Weather Service does with the rest of this this warning, but we've got some rotation there.
Looks like they're planning to continue it here shortly. Okay. Nothing official yet, but they sure plan on it.
Okay, yeah, so they're going to continue that because this has been confirmed. Again, Jacob showed us just briefly there's some of the damage that's occurring. So let's kind of regroup here. Let's kind of talk about everything that is going on because there are a lot of areas that are being impacted right now. So I want to break all of them down for you because there's a ton of people who are watching a lot of high population areas now under tornado warnings, and that includes Monticello. Okay, that includes Bement. Okay, that includes Champaign. Okay, everywhere down to Sedoris and Tolono, this huge area. I'm actually just going to throw on the warnings now. If you are within the red box here, there is concern for a tornado. Okay, tornado warning in effect here until 12:45 there, parts of southern Champaign County and then Douglas County, and the new one that just came out until 1 a.m. for parts of Champaign and Pyatt County. If you are in those red boxes, and I'm not going to zoom in, so if you see your town, okay, you need to be taking shelter, okay, between Monticello and Ivesdale. Champaign, obviously Mahomet. This stretches all the way to the north to Rantoul and Thomasboro, okay? Fisher, sirens are going off right now. If you're even east of, you're in Urbana, down to Philo, Sydney, Villa Grove, Tuscola, all the way down here towards Bourbon, you guys are under a tornado warning. Then we come down here. Now the new tornado warning that they've extended through the rest of Coles County. Confirmed tornado. Charleston, Ashmore there, you're under the confirmed tornado warning. The stretches down south, Lerna. All of you, take your tornado precautions. Go to your safe place right now if you're in any of the areas that I just noticed. So look at all the spots that are either under severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings at this time. Now we know who. Okay, Jacob's here. He's got some damage. Jacob, can you first tell us your location? Before we take his shot, what's your location? And because I want to show people on radar where you are.
Yeah, so Kevin, I'm north on US 45 now, just north of the Coles County line. There's some sort of outbuilding that's here. You can see the debris that's been scattered from this. There's a house about a quarter mile to my south. They had a little bit of damage, but it just passed north of there as it continued off to the north and east. It got real hairy real fast there for a second by Neoga. I know Neoga Fire has been paged out to I-57. I would consider I-57 closed. Avoid traveling there at Neoga because there were power lines down on the interstate, and I saw semi-traffic tangled up in that, crashes in both the northbound and the southbound lanes. It's kind of hard to see, but there's more back behind where I'm at here, this little, I guess you'd say, farm post here. We'll try and zoom in and see if the lightning gives us a view, but there's more damaged structures and debris that's been thrown into this field here as we're just about a mile north of the county line on 45, and that's where this CC drop, the debris signature showed up as it first popped up north of Neoga and moved in that direction. So, Kevin, I think I might head back to Neoga at this point to show the damage down there again, because that damage was pretty impressive, but I'm still really concerned for Charleston right now. If you're listening in Charleston, Ashmore, Oakland, the time is running out for you here. This is likely near the Coles County Airport, moving into the west side of Charleston very shortly, Kevin. So if you want to give me a little advice, if you think I should head to Charleston or stay down here, just let me know your thoughts. But very active and developing situation here in Coles County. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, thanks, Jacob. Yeah, you know, I tell you what, you know, stay on some of the damage down there. You're not going to make it up, obviously up this way. So let's wait and kind of see what happens here with Charleston, because the storm's coming through right now.
Probably going to get a decent view of it on the camera.
Okay.
The way it's coming in, we got to aim to the west right now.
Okay, so if we can, what we're going to do here is we're going to pull up the camera in Charleston. And here's the thing, we've got a lot that's going on here, guys. And I know we got folks all over that are concerned right now. We want to try to, you know, talk about everyone that's under warnings, but that's the Charleston camera. That thing is coming in right now, and there's some heavy rainfall. The rotation is literally on the southwest side of town, and that is directly where we have our camera pointed. If you're in Charleston, you need to be in your safe spot. Lowest level of your home, center part of your house. That is the view, the heavy rainfall. And this storm, the tornado has actually been kind of showing up on the back side. Some of the rotation is kind of on the back side and not the typical kind of, you know, front end of this. So a little bit of a different kind of structure to it. So I don't want you to think that you know, oh, it's rained, you know, the storm, it's past us. No, because we're kind of getting some of that there on the back side there. So rotation there south and west of Charleston. I mean, just barely on the south and west side of town. You can maybe even see, is that a little bit of a CC drop there maybe still?
I think it's been that same one that we've been picking up the whole time.
Yeah, so that same one there kind of coming into Charleston now. Why don't we go back to the camera there? It may be kind of tough to see a whole lot right now, but we'll watch for power flashes. We'll see kind of what happens there. But again, we've got several areas of concern, and that is the view that we're getting from our Charleston camera that we may lose here for too long. That is the Effingham camera here behind me. Okay, let me kick back over here to the radar. Let's talk about Champaign County. Let's talk about Douglas County here now and try to find where some of this rotation is. And we've got a couple different areas here of rotation. So here's one. And so now that's going to be kind of north of Ivesdale. Then here's another that's maybe down here close to the Pasodum area, right through here. It's broad, okay? It's not super strong, but there's something right there. And we might have something right over here as well. So a couple areas there. You're getting heavy rainfall right now. The radar itself probably looks kind of messy, and you're like, I can't really tell exactly where it is. Here's the thing: you're not going to see a tornado here tonight. It is going to be embedded with the rain. It's going to be really difficult to kind of see anything. So I encourage you guys to take shelter. If you are anywhere out there tonight, okay, take shelter as you're going to be watching these storms come in, hopefully from your safe spot. Don't try to go out and see it. You're not going to see anything. If you're in Champaign, you're not going to see anything, okay? So we're watching out for that. Let's see here. I'm going to pull back up our camera that is in Charleston here, and bear with me for a second. Jacob was kind of mentioning he might be seeing some power flashes over in the Charleston area, or maybe some lightning. A lot of lightning there, obviously, but he's down there. So we've got our camera here. We've got Jacob that's just kind of south there of town, and so he's going to be kind of looking at things. But the heavy rainfall is coming through Charleston. We've had the confirmed tornado damage confirmed down in the Neoga area there. And we still have rotation coming through Charleston as we speak. It's happening right now. And now, listen, if you're in Ashmore, I would still kind of be on the lookout. If you're in the Ashmore area, eastern portions of Coles County, we'll be watching for you next, as this will track right there along 16. You come out of Charleston there, all the way to Ashmore. So anyone along 16 on either side of that, a few miles, you want to be taking your tornado precautions right now as the rotating part of the storm starts to move in. Again, Charleston, you're getting hit by right now. I don't want you to let your guard down because there is still rotation kind of on the back side of this. You see the reflectivity? It's a lot stronger out here, but the rotation is actually kind of back on this, on the back edge. Okay, it's actually back here. So you have the heavy rain here. It's back here. So we're gonna watch our camera there in Charleston. Keep an eye on things and update you here. If you see anything, let me know over there. But I know it's starting to rain pretty heavy in Champaign right now. We have the tornado sirens that are going off. I know that Seth and Adam are in here with us and kind of keeping an eye on things.
Yeah, I've just been watching a lot, Kevin. We're now looking out from Memorial Stadium, looking out to the south and west. They're trying to see if we can see any structure with that storm there just south of town. There, south, closer towards Tolono here. Again, I've been looking the whole time because, again, you and I both live in Champaign County, and we have our warnings in kind of places where we live. So I've been making a few connections there saying, hey, we've got a tornado warning here in Mahomet and here in Champaign, so letting people know. But also keep an eye on those rotations. Again, kind of seems like Champaign's in the middle of those two spots. That one spot there just south of Champaign, closer towards Tolono, that looking broad, yes, but I'm still keeping an eye on it because, again, we've had those kind of quick circulations before here. But, again, they're still messy, but I guess this is just one of those things we got to keep an eye out for, Kevin. So I'm keeping an eye towards the south and west right now here. Haven't seen anything structure-wise. Lightning has kind of helped a little bit here, and it's just been kind of a mess. Let's take a look now at those tornado warnings there at Champaign County there. There's that one just to the west of town there between basically Whiteheath, 72, going across 72 right now, south closer towards Seymour there, and Bonneville. There you go. You can see kind of a broader area too as well. And then there's that one just south of Champaign, south of Willard, and that one is pretty broad as well too, but still worth looking at, still worth taking seriously too. And again, nothing confirmed, but we're still watching these just to kind of see how these are kind of developing. Again, this is the point now where we see some of these storms getting those little quick turn-ups, those quick spin-ups we see with linear storms in a good environment here. So we're kind of keeping an eye on that as well. And I know we've been talking about Neoga and down to the south, but man, now we got the rain really coming here, and we could use it, but again, we just don't want the severe weather with it, right, Kevin?
That's exactly right. Boy, you can see the heavy rainfall now coming into Champaign. Tornado sirens are going off across the area. We hear them just outside. We're seeing some of that broad rotation in two different areas right now. And I just got a new kind of updated radar scan here with this. We are getting heavy rain and strong winds with this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. We're watching our camera there in Charleston. I'm going to click it back over here to the radar to kind of give you guys an idea of where some of the rotation is with this, where we've got two areas here. There's some really strong winds in here as well, north of Ivesdale and Sodoris. Okay, and when we look at the reflectivity, there's not the classic little, notch or hook or anything there, but it is visible when we look inside of the storm and try to find some of the rotation. So there's kind of two areas here, maybe a little bit here between Savoy and Tolono. It is still fairly broad. It is not a tight circulation there. So yes, that's stay in your safe spot here for right now, but I'm not seeing anything huge. I would say that there's probably a little better chance over here towards the Bonneville area. If this starts to tighten up a little bit more, so basically if we start getting some of these pinks here and these greens here, and they start getting a little bit closer, it start to get a little concerned in there. There might be an embedded tornado. I mean, this thing is in rain. I mean, if there is anything, it is wrapped in rain here. So you're not going to be able to see much of anything at all. So you need to be in your tornado safe spot. If you're in Mahomet right now, go to your tornado safe spot. Be in your tornado safe spot right now. Down the line in Thomasboro as well. But there is rotation here showing up near Bonneville in that area right there. That's I-72. And this is kind of lifting here to the north and to the east. And so we're going to be carefully monitoring things and see some of that rotation. If you're in Bonneville, it is imperative for you to be taking shelter right now as this storm, it's trying to ramp up a little bit there, guys. So we're watching out for that. that rain is starting to come down pretty good here at the studio. I want to go back here. Looks like we've got a 55 mile an hour wind gust just reported down in Tolono there. And I believe Jacob might have some additional reports coming into us here. Jacob, what are you hearing? And I'll tell you what, we'll keep the radar up here, guys. Just take his audio there because it's kind of dark where he's at right now. But Jacob, what are you hearing right now?
Yeah, hey Kevin, we're moving north on I-57. I'm going to head towards Charleston. I just had a report come in of some damage to some roofs in the Charleston area, and I figured it's best to just head in that direction. I also just got word the school in Neoga may have taken a hit from that tornado. I had a photo that I saw pop up, some damage there when I was stopped south of Mattoon. Somebody sent me a photo saying, hey, the school got hit, and they sent me a picture of damage. I'll forward that to you guys here in a second. We're going to head towards Charleston, check out over there, and then I think we'll make our way back to Neoga. That tornado probably touched down. You know, if you're familiar with the school in Neoga, that's right on the east side there. It raced northeast to the Neoga exit on 45, northeast of town there. That's where Neoga Fire is responding to accidents on the interstates and power lines down, and then continued where we saw damage across US 45 about a half-mile north of Cumberland County. The storm has a history of producing wind damage and tornadoes with this here, so that's something to keep in mind. And if you don't have a tornado yet with some of these storms maybe further north, Kevin, we're kind of in that zone where we're right in the edge. I think it's best to err on the side of caution and seek shelter. I'll have a report from Charleston here in about 5-10 minutes, Kevin. We'll send it back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jacob. Appreciate the report down there. Let's come back to Champaign County now, where we have the tornado warning continuing, where we might have some of that rotation that's kind of showing up here near the Bondville area. You need to be taking shelter right now. This is where we could have some of this. This is going to be coming, close to the west side of Champaign. Here's Muhammad up here, but where some of this rotation is located is generally right about there. Okay, guys? We're seeing some of that rotation show up, the broad rotation there. You need to be in your tornado safe spot. If you are anywhere in, basically almost anywhere in Champaign County, but we're going to say specifically Mahomet, down to Champaign, Urbana, and then up towards Thomasboro and Rantoul as rotation. It sounds like we might be getting a little bit of hail that is going to be kind of pelting us here at the studio here as the rain is starting to pick up. But that is the rotation that we're seeing right now with our storm coming in to the west side of Champaign and Bonneville, right along I-72 is where that rotation currently is. We're getting some really strong winds out here right now. I'm just going to pull up our Neal Street camera and show you that. So sheets of rain coming through. Hopefully not a lot of people out and about here. It's 12:32 a.m. on this Saturday morning. And you can see the heavy rain that's coming through Champaign. Again, what you're getting, we're kind of getting a few different things. You're getting heavy rain. There might be a little bit of hail in there. Good news, we've not heard about any really large hail reports tonight. But what we are getting are still some signs of rotation showing up there within a few of our storms. Two areas of concern right now, as we just kind of keep on this camera, I'm just going to talk about some of the towns here right now. So basically Ashmore, down in Coles County and just to the north and west of Ashmore, and then up towards Oakland, I would be on the lookout, and then just be paying attention if you're over into Edgar County, because I think you guys are next with where some of that rotation is. But if you're in Oakland and Coles County, you want to be taking shelter as that warning is in effect for you. As far as Champaign County goes, I got to tell you, the storm that's down there near Pasota, or was down there, Pasota, Tolono, Philo, Sydney area, I'm not seeing as much of the signs of rotation with that storm. Okay, I'm seeing a little bit more maybe up towards that Bondville area. Okay, so you can see that is the view that we're getting here from our camera just outside of the studio. I'm going to take things kind of back over here. And again, here's what I'm talking about with some of the rotation that we're seeing. Some of that right through here. There's Bondville. We have these colors, these brighter colors. Very broad, not a real tight circulation. And then, as I mentioned earlier, this other warning that's down here, I'm just not seeing, I'm just not kind of seeing the same indications that I was looking at just a little bit ago. New tornado warning here. Looks like
Coles, Vermilion, Edgar.
Okay, so that's going to be to continue basically our cell that's down here. So this one still looks to be the most impressive one between Oakland and Ashmore. So your rotation's right smack dab in the middle there, I'm going to guess. So right there is where that rotation still is, okay? And so you're going to see the new tornado warning kind of populate probably right in this area here, okay, going to the north and east. And so we're going to continue to see this. So there it is. It is not a confirmed one anymore. So you're saying, okay, what's the difference here? It's radar indicated now. This is the one that definitely produced some damage back towards Neoga. This is where we had some damage where Jacob was on that earlier. That storm is now, it's passed well past Charleston, and now it's up here between Oakland and Ashmore. So now the tornado warning here, Brockton, Redmond, Hume, Chrisman. This does impact southern portions of Vermilion County, Georgetown to Chrisman, all of those areas there. The potential exists for a tornado because this area still has some decent rotation on it, and you'll want to be in your tornado safe spot here right now. Lowest level of your home, center part of your house. Get in there and stay there until the all clear is given. So we've got 2 spots we're looking at. Let's come back up here into Champaign County again. Still some broad rotation there with us here tonight. Heavy rainfall moving through. Again, as I mentioned, see that southern tornado warning that was in effect down here for Philo and Tolono? They dropped it, no longer in effect. We've kept the one up here. That does include Mahomet, Thomasboro, and Rantoul. So I would still be staying in your tornado safe spot. I gotta tell you, the wind's picking up outside pretty good.
Door just to see, and the sirens are still going off here for Champaign. We're here again on Neal Street in Champaign, but I will tell you, I opened up that door. It's kind of hard to open it. I wanted to make sure I didn't open it too wide so the wind didn't take it. It's pretty breezy. It's pretty wet out there. Seth was about to go outside and check to see if something fell on the roof. We heard a little bit of a boom out there. Don't know if that was just lightning or what, but you can see that we still have the rain coming through here. I'm a little wet right now because I just opened up the door a crack a little bit and I got a little bit more soaked here. So again, yeah, we're seeing those sheets of rain just kind of move through right now. I hope nobody's out and about right now for this evening. It is kind of messy out there regardless of the severe weather. And again, those winds are no joke. I could even see that on velocity. We had some of those pinks just south of town moving northward here. Clear indication that we've got those strong winds kicking in behind it. Whether those are strong or severe, we'll have to wait and see. But I will say it's a bit more than just breezy out there for this evening. So again, here at the studio, just seeing the rain right now and some strong wind gusts. Still hearing the sirens here and there. I think they've taken a break from that though. And again, now our focus is a little bit more off towards the east or the western storm there, closer towards Bonneville, that spot. Looking at Jacob, I just saw his shot there a second ago. He had some really good anvil crawlers there for lightning there. He had some really good lightning there, Jacob.
Yeah, so we're here now coming into Charleston, Adam. I think I'm talking now. And as we're moving in, I will say there were a lot of power outages between Mattoon and Charleston. The radar may have indicated that there was some tornado debris in this area, but I've not seen any evidence of that. It's dark, though. There's probably some lines down somewhere. I've got some folks that are telling me that the fire departments are busy here in Coles and Cumberland County from Neoga on up here. So we will kind of check things out in Charleston, make our way back to Neoga. We're on the backside. Things are clear here for the severe weather threat. Sarah Bush Medical Center, okay. Lights are on, no issues there. But a lot of the houses and whatnot, but kind of to the south and east of there, kind of by the airport, are out of power. Looks like the lights are back on here, or at least have been on in Charleston, but we're going to just kind of check through town and see what's going on. I'll send it back to you guys and kind of check things out, get some new information, whatnot. If you also want to check on my Facebook page, I've got a photo up there of the damage to the Neoga school where the roof was damaged from that. So you might be able to take a peek at that, just to give you a heads up on there. Live in Charleston now, rolling on in after the storm. I'm Jacob Dickey. Back to you.
Okay. Well, we've had some damage here at our studio, just outside. See our weather garden? The fence is gone.
Oh no!
On the right side there. See the weather? We don't have the lights on. So our fence out there.
That would explain the boom we heard earlier.
We heard it. We heard a loud boom here, and we were like, "What was that?" So Neal Street's right behind there. And that's our weather garden on the right side. We should not be able to see that yellow pole.
Yeah.
I'll just tell you that. There's usually a fence there. So that's our camera view that is out there. And I think Brandon just went out to kind of take a look of that. So we've sustained our own damage here at the studio, it looks like, just outside.
Looks like part of that east wall kind of is...
Yeah, something's kind of moving there too, it looks like. Or maybe that's part of part of the wall there. So there you go. We were talking about how there's going to be a pretty good little gust of wind that was just about to come through here, and that's look at the pink color here.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're getting it. Now we're getting these strong winds here in Champaign right now. So it just took out. It looks like the south side of our fence out there in the weather garden. So. Yeah, maybe Brandon can. I don't know, Brandon, grab a camera because I know you can plug in out there. I know Brandon Morano's out there. Maybe he can plug in and show us some of that damage or whatnot. But you're seeing the strong winds here. That was probably just some straight line winds that just came through. So. We've had some of that, and that's the colors that you're seeing here. I will say this, not seeing much rotation. There's a little bit in there. It's pretty broad, but you've got strong, possibly straight line winds all across Champaign to Bonneville, and this is going to be lifting to the north, and so you're talking up there towards the Thomasboro area there before too long. So that's what this color, the brighter pinks are your stronger winds, and that's what's happening here right now. Brandon, did you got the weather garden?
I did. I'm about to get a mic and go out there.
Okay, so Brandon's gonna hop out there and tell us what he's seen. Do you know how to flip on the lights out there? I don't know if you can do that or not.
I can help him.
I'll talk you through it there. So Brandon's gonna head out there and show us some of that here. I do want to just kind of talk about what's going on here with the rest of the area, and we'll kind of zoom out and kind of show you what we've got, where we still have the concern here into Edgar County now for some rotation on our storm that is basically kind of coming there between, well, there's kind of a few different areas there. I mean, there's kind of rotation on there. It looks very broad, though. We're not getting a tight circulation there. Yeah, it's so tough in this environment here to see some of it, but I would still be in your tornado safe spot in Redmond there, in Brockton and Crispin, just to be on the kind of safe side. This does not have kind of the same characteristics I was seeing just a little bit earlier, but it's still enough for a cause for concern here tonight as severe thunderstorm warnings continue. We have got several counties still under the gun here for severe weather tonight. It is 12:42 a.m. now, and several counties under warning. So let's kind of recap what we've got right now, and we'll pull up the radar reflectivity. We'll pull up just the warnings, and let's show you the warnings by themselves. And so severe thunderstorm warnings all the way from Iroquois, Ford County, down through Vermilion. We've still got the tornado warning here that stretches between Champaign and Rantoul. Actually, this one on the south has dropped off, and our radar just hasn't updated on that just yet. But then this one here that we're continuing to watch into Edgar and southern portions of Vermilion County. You also want to be in your tornado safe spot as these storms move to the north and east. And these are still looking really strong. I got to tell you, this has got more of a kind of a wind signature to it down here into Clark County and whatnot. A little Boeing segment that's going on. So that's kind of telling me that there's probably some pretty strong winds coming there, probably just past through Casey, Martinsville, coming towards the Clark Center area, and then into the Grandview area between Kansas and Grandview. Some strong winds out there as well as the storm kind of passed through with kind of a wind damage. I'm just seeing more wind damage on the southern edge of this, and then up here we go, maybe even some hail that's up there as well. So tornado safe spots, these are the places to go. Worst place, cars, mobile homes under a highway overpass. You want a bad place, large rooms near an outside wall. You want to get into an interior room, center part of your house, bathroom with no windows, and a tornado shelter or safe room. Basement is best. Okay, let's pop outside. Brandon and Adam are out there in the weather garden. Okay, we don't have his mic out there, I'm being told right now, so we can take the shot, I believe, but we don't have his mic. Go ahead and just kind of show off if we can. We'll take the shot. So there's a piece of our fence that was blown down there. You can see Adam and Brandon are picking up some of the pieces from our weather garden. There's a large piece right there. So all of there you can see. Oh, look at that. Yeah. So that was where some of the flower pots and things were. So there's some of the damage here that we had. Obviously very minor, and something we can obviously repair. But you can see we had our own little bit here at the studio. All right, guys. Jacob is on some damage now. Jacob, talk to us about your location. We see flashing lights, possibly some debris. Where are you, and what are you seeing?
Yeah, hey Kevin, we're down by Lake Charleston here on the southeast side of town, and police stopped. They were kind of picking up some tree debris from the road here on 130. We're just past Nursery Avenue there, where we kept going around. I saw those flashing lights, thought I'd pop up, and so this area has been hit by some wind, and doesn't look like, you can probably make out the tree right there, in fact, that was on the road that came down. They've kind of cleared it and done what they could, but there's probably some more damage in this area here. Hard to make out what happened, what caused it, but that certainly is something that we'll be keeping an eye on here. It looks like, I can't tell if that's going to be Charleston police or if that's going to be officials from the sheriff's department. So we'll see if they give us any info, anything like that. Look, I got an officer coming up, and maybe I can ask him a question. Can't tell if he's going to me or anything like that. Hey, do you guys have any damage around here, anything?
Not that I know, not that we know of, just me, the guardrail right there.
Okay, that's good. Hey, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I'm going to head back that way then.
Be careful. There's a lot of debris like this in the road still.
Okay.
But nothing major like this that we know of right now.
Okay, perfect. And what's your name?
I'm Officer Evans.
Officer Evans, and you're with Charleston Police? Hey, thanks so much. Thanks for talking to me.
Yeah,
So,
no problem. Thank you.
thank you. Just talked to Officer Evans from the Charleston Police, and he said that there's a lot of tree damage and debris on 130 here. So they're out here by the lake cleaning things up just southeast of town. And said he didn't have anything that was noteworthy damage-wise. That's good news, but he's kind of out here checking things out with other officers further down the road. So first we're checking things out here, so that's some good news. Kevin, I'm going to cut back kind of the south side of Charleston towards the Lerna, Trilla area and make my way back to Neoga. We're getting some more reports about some of the damage over there and whatnot. We had those semis, interstates, that accident.
Okay, we're kind of losing his shot there, so we'll just bring it back here for now. Again, we're getting a ton of power outage reports that are coming into us here, a lot of those, and here in just a moment, I'm going to send it over to Seth here in a moment to talk about some of the outages, because they are starting to pile up. Okay, and there's a lot of people that are watching now online because they don't have power. The TV's not working, so we've got a lot of people online. We're still going to be here with you guys streaming, so if you've got friends or family that are curious about this, tell them we're streaming on the WCIA 3 News and Weather app. We're on Facebook here, okay? We're on X. We're all over the place that you can, if there's a place to stream, we're trying to do it for you right now. The only tornado warning that is left is the one that is in effect for Edgar County, southern portions of Vermilion County, essentially, okay? And with that, I'm not seeing incredible signs of rotation. I am seeing some really strong winds there. But we have several counties with severe thunderstorm warnings, and they stretch all the way from Iroquois County down to Vermilion County, Champaign County. And briefly, I want to come back to the velocity because I'm seeing a signature, some really, really strong winds up here north of town, coming towards Thomasboro, Flatville, Sellers area. That color right there that you're seeing, that is indicative of at least 60 miles an hour, maybe higher, maybe potentially winds there upwards of 65. So we've got some really strong winds just north of Champaign. And that's going to be heading there up towards between Thomasboro, Flatville area. And again, there's Sellers, the updated scan there. So you got Leverett Road. So right along Leverett Road, there are some gusty winds that are happening in that area here right now. So I just kind of wanted to make mention of that because we are still dealing. When you look at the radar, you've got almost a little Boeing segment that's kind of trying to happen here from Royal and stretches back down here east of Sydney over towards Homer and the Ogden area. So you guys are getting hit pretty hard. Again, we'll come back down here to Seidel, Chrisman, Edgar. Boy, that's going to be a storm coming into Paris there. That's going to be a strong storm there into Paris. A lot of heavy rainfall, lightning, and yet still, some rotation there showing up. But more than anything, I'm seeing more of a straight-lined wind threat. So strong winds there coming into Paris. So I would still just kind of be hanging out, taking shelter. You may start to hear some hail coming down on top of your roof here tonight. Fortunately, the hail reports have been fairly small at this point. We haven't heard about any gigantic hail, which is some good news. So that's kind of what we've got here right now, a messy situation. with the radar, but still some areas of concern that we're watching with some gusty winds here tonight. Power outages are piling up. I'm seeing purple colors on the outage map, and Seth, that purple means there's a lot of people who are in the dark tonight.
Yeah, that absolutely does, and we've noticed a lot of those counties start to become a little more colored as that tornado-warned storm that was kind of on the northeast side of Effingham there for a little bit, and then eventually crossed over into Shelby, Coles, and parts of Douglas County too. Yeah, we've got 3 of those purple bulbs out there right now, and that indicates anywhere above 1,000 and still less than 5,000. I think most of them mentioned about 1,500 or so, so you've got that going on in Christian, Shelby, Douglas counties, kind of some of those hardest hit counties. And of course, as this line of storms continues to move on to the east, you're starting to notice some more of those yellow or orange bulbs, including like here in Champaign County. Of course, haven't completely moved all the way east of I-57 yet, but just as a statewide total, there have been a lot of outages. We're all the way up to 74,000 outages here at the moment. So we'll continue to kind of track some of those. Sometimes this chart just kind of lags behind just a little bit, so there's still probably a few that have yet to come in. One thing I want to mention, let's just take a look at some confirmed wind gust reports that we've had just at some of the recording stations here across the area. Had a gust of 64 right here through Champaign, and of course that's going to knock down some fencing there in the weather garden, absolutely. But some other places, just that general 45 up to about 60 miles an hour or so. So plenty of that wind damage tonight. And one thing I do want to mention just here with this line of storms is the fact that a lot of times we have these systems rolling through, kind of have to watch for some redevelopment west of the main line. Good thing is, looks like things are nice and quiet. You've got one little storm down there in parts of Macoupin and Montgomery County. For the most part, we kind of anticipated that once this initial line moved through, you were kind of in the clear effectively here for a good chunk of the night. So watching as plenty of warnings are here still in the area. In fact, going north and south where that line of storms is, there's not a single county that is not included in a warning of sorts there from I-57 off to the east. So still another about hour or two to go here in this event. Looking like things are becoming generally more windy in nature, but yes, still watching that tornado warning down there in parts of Edgar and Vermilion County. But right now, Kevin, for some, the event might be over, but yeah, those outages going to linger around here for a little bit, and we've been seeing those damage images with Jacob there. At least there's not a whole lot coming for those that saw that initial line.
Okay, we're getting a new tornado warning here for parts of Champaign County, I believe, up near the Gifford area. Okay, there's just a little area of rotation up near Gifford that we are picking up on, and so the Weather Service just issued this. So now Gifford is right there, little guy right there, Middle Fork Forest Preserve that's there up in the northeastern portions of Champaign County. So here we go. Here's some of that rotation that we're seeing right there near Gifford, Middle Fork Forest Preserve, kind of just to the north and west of Penfield. Again, all of this is moving to the north and east. And if you are up here in northeastern corner of Champaign County, so here's the thing, you may be saying, well, why is that such a small tornado warning there? Well, they hand off to the Chicago Weather Service office for anything into Ford and Iroquois County. So they only go up to northern Champaign County, so that's why it is kind of a really small one. We'll see if the Chicago office extends this a little bit more. But there is some slight rotation right there north of Gifford, and that is lifting to the north and east. It's basically, it might even come in, I mean, it's got to hug right along the Vermilion and kind of Ford County line there, and maybe eventually just kind of clip far eastern Ford County and southern portions of Iroquois County there as well. But this is a brand new tornado warning. It's a small one, and there is some rotation, and again, embedded with the rain could be a tornado. You're not going to see it, so don't even try. Very strong winds in there, and you might have a little spin-up tornado all along that. So we're looking at two areas. Boy, Paris right now. If you're out in Paris, you guys are definitely getting hit pretty hard. It looks like here tonight, guys. So if you are out there tonight in Paris, be on the lookout for these storms as they're coming through, as they are kind of transitioning a little bit more of a Boeing segment there. You kind of see how this, and what I'm going to do is kind of draw this out here for you, but there is more of a kind of a Boeing segment that's happening on this Paris. See how this kind of arcs back around a little bit. And so what we've got here essentially is really strong winds kind of pushing the line out a little bit more, and that is causing the strong straight line winds that you're going to have. So I think that's what we're looking at more than anything there into parts of Edgar County here right now, and not so much maybe some of that rotation in there, but boy, heavy rainfall, and we're going to be seeing that as well. So here we go. We've got some video there, and Adam, so shout out to our engineer who's at home watching us, Mr. David Norbot, who is on our engineering team here. Adam, you were out there with
I was just out there, so if I look all gross, it's because I was just out in the rain and the wind and the dirt. So I apologize if I come off a little bit more of gross this evening. But I will say, wow, look at that. You can see, and we knew something had to happen to kind of pull that. I was kind of investigating a little bit as I was walking out there the last time to turn the lights on. And yeah, you can see right there, just it got kind of caught up on the wind and then just blown right into a weak spot right there. And you can see one of the flower pots flipped over there, and there you go, boom, right there on the hinges, kind of just popped right off there. So yeah, that's the door we normally use to get into the weather garden, but right there, that's the spot right there. It just kind of popped right open here and kind of just broke all over the place here. It's kind of a mess in the weather garden. It's not too bad. I mean, it's still usable, but you're going to have to clean it later on. I don't think we're going to be using it on Monday. That's my first thought for the 9 o'clock
Listen,
hour.
Obviously, very minor damage.
Yes, very minor.
Considered, you know, the first thing that comes to mind, the meme, we will rebuild, and we will.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It was just funny that it happened to us, right?
Yeah, I mean, there you go. We get it right here as well. But on that video too, you could really see the behind when the wind. Look at the winds. Once you kind of see that go, look out there along Neal Street. So that Neal Street's right behind that, and you're going to see.
Right there, yeah.
Just look at the strong winds, the sheets of rain they're kind of blowing behind it, so you can really kind of pick that out. There's just that little gust that occurred. So again, that happening here at the studio here in the past half. We heard a loud boom, and we were wondering what that was. All right, guys, let's come back. Regroup a little bit here. It looks like we still have that little sliver of a tornado warning in northeastern Champaign County, but I got to tell you, it does look like the rotating part of the storm is probably now up north of Middle, or right near Middle Fork Forest Preserve, and probably now heading into southeastern corner of Ford County. So you got Rankin over here, Vermilion County, you got Ford County here, but then you got Iroquois County. It's kind of where all three of those counties, Clarence, familiar with that. That's kind of where some of that rotation is with that storm. It doesn't look like the Weather Service in Chicago has continued the tornado warning at all in that area, but instead still a severe thunderstorm warning that is showing up there. Okay, let's kind of back things out here. The Weather Service has they've got a report of tornado down near Neoga, north and east there of Neoga. Semi was blown over on I-57. Earlier, that's kind of some of the damage reports that have come into us here. Power poles down over in the Mattoon area, power lines down in the Mattoon area. Some of the things that we're hearing here tonight. Right now, biggest concern going to be kind of east there of Paris. Really strong winds kind of coming in there. Those are going to be continuing to push off then into Indiana. Okay, so we're hopefully getting kind of to the back side of some of this activity here. What I want to do is, I haven't showed this in a while because I know there's a lot of people watching and want to know, am I good? Can I go to bed? This is the new tornado, or what's left of the tornado watch box here tonight. And so, I guess I'll say this here right now. It looks like things are, calming down for most areas tonight, but we're still just kind of, if you're still under that tornado watch, or if you're still in a county here shaded in yellow, just give it a little bit. The biggest areas of concern right now, northeastern Champaign County, southern Fort Iroquois County, we'll just say all of Vermilion County and Edgar County right now. The severe threat there for now is past Cumberland and Coles County right now, but Clark County is still kind of watching there. But maybe kind of on the last hour or so of dealing with some of this. That tornado watch expires at 3 a.m., so we're not quite done here just yet, but we are still keeping a close eye on this as those reports continue to come into us here tonight. We're about a minute away from the top of the hour. I'm here in a little bit. We're going to send things over to Adam. He's going to talk a little bit about some of the damage reports that are coming into us here tonight. Seth's going to get us some more information on what he's hearing out there tonight with some damage and kind of what he's hearing about power outages and things. And we're going to talk about the latest on what's going on with these storms here on this very early Saturday morning. We have several thousand people that are watching on the live streams here with us tonight. We thank you guys for tuning in here with us and trusting us. We know a lot of people are without power and maybe watching here because they're not watching on TV, because there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people that do not have power at home here tonight. So here we are, coming up here straight up on the dot. It is now officially 1 a.m. on Saturday morning. And I am Chief Meteorologist Kevin Lighty. We have Meteorologist Sherwinski, Seth Bohnhoff in studio. We have Meteorologist Jacob Dickey, who's been out in the StormTracker and giving us live reports. We're also going to be checking in with him to let us know what he is seeing. And before we go over to Adam to talk about some of these confirmed damage reports, I'm going to just do a little bit of a quick radar tour and kind of show you guys what is left and what we're still dealing with. First off, the warnings that are still in effect. If you're in the orange color, you're still under severe thunderstorm warnings. We still got this red one here. For all intents and purposes, northeast Champaign County, we're not seeing the rotation there, so we can probably drop that one off. Still looking at southern Vermilion and far northern Edgar County with the tornado warning there, but severe thunderstorm warning stretch all the way down here into Clark County. Back on the radar, what it's actually looking like. Strong line of storms there, Boeing segment there, now pushing into Indiana. It's going to be over there into parts of Vermilion County, south of Cayuga, and heading towards the Clinton and Rockville area, Park County, Indiana. We still have a pretty good little storm there, Danville to Westville, and some heavier rain up here, Potomac, and then now stretching up into parts of Fort and Iroquois County as well. But as far as looking at, any rotation, not seeing much of that here. There's that little area there, some stronger winds, still some pretty strong winds that probably pass through Paris. But we're kind of getting on the back edge of this, which is good in a lot of areas. We're not all clear yet, but we're getting close. But let's talk about what some people have had to experience and go through tonight with some of these wind damage reports. And it all started several hours ago. We'll send it over to Adam to talk about that now.
Yeah, we got Seth helping me over there at the computer, but we're going to start there with Vandalia. Thunderstorm wind damage there in Vandalia about 11:51, so not too incredibly long ago. Fayette County EMA reporting multiple lines down in town here. Let's take it out towards Effingham County. You can see we have a funnel cloud report there, not too far from Effingham, close to Watson there. And if we take a look, click on it real quick, funnel cloud there at Watson at 11:55. Let's go north to Neoga there, a spot that we were kind of concerned with. Let's go right closer to town here first with that wind damage report here. It looks like we've got thunderstorm wind damage there. Semis blown over on 57, and just north of that looks to be a tornado report there. Let's see if we can click on that real quick here. Trilla, outbuilding destroyed, time estimated from radar with a radar confirmed tornado, 12:08 a.m. That would be earlier this morning. Then we got some more wind spots there. Again, Mattoon, Charleston were two spots we were kind of watching out for too. Let's take a look north towards there in Mattoon first. Thunderstorm wind damage there, power poles broken and power lines down there. And let's go a little bit more to the east, closer to Charleston there between Mattoon and Charleston. And that looks like a wind gust report. Let's see, not thunderstorm, but about 52-mile-an-hour winds there from the ASAW station at the Coles County Airport here. We zoom out a little bit more, you'll see kind of where all the damage has really been, and we've seen some here reports already. It's dark, so we're not going to get all the reports here, but notice that we've got a wide swath there out just west of the edges of our viewing area and down towards St. Louis too. So this has been an active day here, both in the really the St. Louis area, all up into Iowa, western Illinois, and here within our viewing area too. Let's go back to Champaign County real quick there, Seth. Can you see that we have that hail report? I just want to see how big that is there, just outside of St. Joseph there. Can you click on that right by Sydney? Report from Champaign. Okay, about dime-sized hail. Let's get closer to town here towards Tolona. We had that kind of a tornado warning earlier, and we had some strong winds behind that. Did cause some damage here at the station. We had part of our weather garden, the fencing came down here. So there's our damage report here. Thunderstorm wind gust in Tolona about 55 miles per hour, very close to the severe threshold there. Let's go closer to Myra there, Seth, closer into town here. Let's see what we've got there for a wind gust report here. I'm sure it's going to be pretty high, 45 miles per hour from the Mesonet station. So again, we've had some strong wind gust even behind this too. Again, blew down part of our fencing there at the weather garden, but we've had just really the wind the primary concern. If we go out to McLean County real quick, Seth, if that's all right, and closer to Springfield too as well, out to the western portions of our viewing area. What's that right there? I think just west of Bloomington near Allen. Can we take a look at that real quick, Seth? Click on it for me if you would. There we go. Thunderstorm wind gust, about power lines down. So non-thunderstorm wind gust, excuse me. Again, winds have been kind of a concern all throughout the day too as well. If we go down to the south, closer towards Lincoln, let's see what they got there at the National Weather Service office there for reports there for wind gusts. Just out of curiosity here. 44 miles per hour there at the airport. And then closer to Springfield there if you could, Seth. And closer to Athens as well. All right, we got some damage right there. Let's take a look at that first in Green Acres. It looks like Green Acres. If you could real quick. Okay. Roof damage from 706 before storms really got to deep into town here, and then also up towards Athens, hail damage reports there too. Let's take a look at that real quick, reporting from dime size. So again, we've had a little bit of hail reports, but that's not really been the big concern. It's the wind we've been concerned with, and even some of those tornadoes as well. It's been a busy evening, especially in Effingham County and out towards Mattoon and Charleston. You can kind of see a wider view. Let's go all the way out here, if we can, a little bit more, Seth, and show a little bit of St. Louis, where they had a lot of that storm activity move this way too. Again, you can see that this is kind of the same storm system that brought that funnel cloud and tornado report out there in our viewing area. It's part of the same chain of storms out there towards the St. Louis metro area. So this has been quite a mess of a night there. This afternoon, they're out towards Missouri, now translating here into central Illinois, now moving into Indiana very slowly but surely here. We're going to keep more tabs on that. Kevin, anything new within the last couple of minutes?
Yeah, starting to get in some more reports here. Down in the Neoga area. Just give me a second here to, I'm going to turn some of that around here in just a second, but let's kind of talk about what's going on here right now. But we are, okay, so I just got permission here to share this, so bear with me for a second, about confirmation of damage. And just, I'm doing this on the fly here, so just give me one quick second here. But Jacob is going to be coming into Neoga soon, and he's going to come across some damage there. And I just got this picture sent in to us, and before I pull it up, I want to mention who sent it in to us here. Zachary Letizia. I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name there. Letizia. Zachary Letizia down in Neoga, sharing this picture with us of the Neoga Elementary School that has sustained damage. And now I can pull that up for you here, and you can see, so there it is. And so it looks like, so part of the, I guess that's part of the, maybe the gymnasium or something over there. You can see some of the damage there that is showing up. There's another picture that I'm going to get permission to show here, but it looks like the Neoga Elementary School did sustain some damage here tonight. That picture sent in to us. Jacob is on his way back to Neoga, where there's most likely been a tornado that occurred down that way. He's actually only a couple minutes away, so we'll be checking back in with him here in just a little bit, but definitely some damage there at the Neoga Elementary School. So thank you to Zachary, who sent that photo in to us here tonight. If you have any photos, our Facebook page, you can go on there or email us weather@wcia.com. Any of those ways to get it to us, and we can share it with our viewers that are out there here tonight, where some places are picking up the damage and some are still dealing with these storms here. I just want to kind of talk about it because things are calming down finally in Champaign. You're still up here towards Paxton and Hoopston. Still got some decent storms up there and right along the Indiana-Illinois state line, but kind of getting close to be on the back edge of this. I know there's still some people over towards Danville and Westville. They're saying, hey, it's still storming pretty good over here. So hang in there. We're almost through it here, guys, but we're still finding some pockets of some pretty strong winds that are showing up in a few spots here tonight. But we're definitely kind of seeing, we're kind of in the fourth quarter now, a few minutes left in the fourth quarter, and to use a basketball kind of pun there with this, we're getting close to the end as these storms race off into Indiana. Jacob is about a minute or so away, coming into Neoga, where there's been damage. We talked about what happened there at the elementary school here tonight. And I'm sure there are we talked about also the semi-trucks that were flipped, I don't know if they were flipped over or pushed over on the side, or at least, not how they were supposed to be on I-57 from earlier tonight. But let's pull up a Jacob shot here He's coming in there to Neoga. We're seeing some of the flashing lights coming in. And Jacob, talk about where you're at and maybe kind of what you're seeing. I know you're just coming in town, so give us some of the preliminary stuff that you're seeing.
Yeah, hey Kevin, we're actually still a little bit northeast of town on 45. It looks like the fire department's got the highway closed here, and this is going to be just about a mile south of Etna Road. It looked like Etna Road east of US 45 had power lines down on it, and this here is going to be Trilla Road where we're at. There's a grain facility here of some sort. I thought this might have been the anhydrous plant, but I can't tell quite at this point what's going on, but first responders have the road blocked here on 45 south heading towards the Neoga area, and they've got this lit up. I don't see any damage to this particular plant, but they've got the road closed here at Trilla Road and 45 south, so we may have to, I'm going to turn my windshield wipers off, we may have to sneak in a different way before all is said and done, and so that's something that we'll kind of play by ear and see what happens. So I'm going to check in here with firefighters, see what's going on. I know there's been power lines down in the area. We're going to try and make our way back to the interstate over there and into Neoga, but a number of roads are closed in this area because of power lines down. There were a lot of power outages, Kevin. I tell you what, driving from Charleston through Lerna and all the way down here, really dark. And there's a lot of houses out there. A lot of folks live in those areas on Lincoln Highway and whatnot. So that's kind of what we're dealing with here with this situation in northern Cumberland and southern Coles counties. So with that, Kevin, I'm going to send it back to you. I'm just going to check in and see what's going on here. And we'll try and get down to Neoga because I know there's been some damage. We drove upon that maybe a minute or two after it happened. And we were talking, Kevin, hey, there's something weird there. There's something kind of unusual in the sky there, and moments later came across that damage. I think we may have had either the updraft and the wall cloud rotating there in front of us. Again, it's dark, you can't really tell what it is, but maybe we'll go back and look at our footage from here and be able to pick something out. But we were right on that storm, and we're here now bringing you reports of damage from the Coles and Cumberland County areas. And of course, we know there's more people out of power with those power outages statewide, Kevin. Live here just north of Neoga, I'm Jacob Dickey. We'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Jacob. Continue to see what you can find out about that area. So I've zoomed in our map into the area here. So just to kind of give you an idea. So you've got Neoga that's here, got 45 and 57, and then Trilla just to the northeast. So we had the semis reported down right here, okay. Damage to the Neoga Elementary School, and something up here close to Trilla. And so that kind of looks pretty suspicious. Maybe there was a little bit, a tornado that we had here that's done some damage in that area. Then eventually head towards the Lerna area. So a little bit of a track there, almost kind of long 45 there that kind of runs. It kind of does a little bit of a jog there, a little bit to the north and to the east. That connects to 121. So that's the kind of area, that's the area that Jacob is located in right now, and where we're getting some of the reports of some of that damage that is in here. I got one more photo, and I can show you guys. This is Lori Hall. Lori Hall sent this photo in to us, and she also at the Neoga Elementary School. This one's showing a little bit more of the damage there. It looks like some roofing. Damage there on the side of that brick wall that is over there. So again, this the Neoga Elementary School, we're being told, has some of the damage as what is most likely a tornado that came through, possibly there between Neoga to Trilla there. We had the reports of that semi there in 57, as we mentioned, and there's probably other things that when Jacob is able to kind of get around there, he might be able to tell us a little bit more of what he is seeing there. But that definitely has been an area that has been hit down into the Cumberland County area here tonight. Okay, guys, it is 1:13 a.m. Still, just keeping an eye on these storms on radar, just to kind of give you, hopefully, an all clear coming here pretty soon. I got to tell you, I'm not seeing much in Champaign County anymore. We've got some rain here into Douglas County, even back here into Coles County. Just not seeing much. I think the worst of it, listen, it's still coming down pretty good over near Paris, between Paris and Georgetown. You guys are still dealing with some really heavy rainfall, possibly some strong winds that are still located in there. So Still just kind of watch. That's kind of like the last area. And then Danville, maybe Danville up to Rossville, Hoopeston, maybe Wellington, Milford. You guys are probably still finding some strong winds and some heavy rainfall anywhere here between Ridgeford. But again, generally, we're not seeing a whole lot there. You're typically looking for more of the brighter reds and whatnot. There's a few there between Danville, south of Bismarck, but Hoopeston, just some general rain. Still some gusty winds embedded in these. Don't get me wrong, you still might get some, 55, 60 mile an hour winds. But hopefully starting to see the back edge of this kind of clear out. We still have some warnings. Those are going to start to kind of drop off even more. Actually, I believe the one up in Iroquois County has dropped off. So we still just have a little sliver. Actually, our ones there in Douglas and Coles, it just sometimes takes a while for the computer to keep. I got to say, the computer has been working hard here for us here tonight, so it's just lagging behind just a tad on some of those warnings. But I can tell you that pretty much, if you are, it's pretty close. I'm going to say west of I-57, you're good. You're absolutely good. So that area there, west of I-57, and before too long, we're going to clear most of the area. The tornado watch. Let's see if they've trimmed back any of those counties here even more. Not quite yet, but for all intents and purposes, you're good there in Monticello and Shelbyville and Effingham and Sullivan and whatnot to go to sleep. So thanks for hanging in there with us here tonight. We'll just pull up camera view here in just outside the studio. Things are looking calmer now. They're along Neal Street here. Again, some pockets of reports of damage in a few spots. Let's go back to Jacob, who has got a little bit more of a report on what he has seen here tonight. Jacob, what do you got over there towards Trilla?
Yeah, hey Kevin, I think you can see me standing in front of the StormTracker here, and behind me is Route 45 at Trilla Road. Route 45 is closed here. No traffic can go through. There's power lines down, and we're next to the plant here, which I think is either natural gas or anhydrous. I wish I could remember what this was, but Trilla Road and 45 closed. Interstate 57, the Wabash Fire folks told me down there in Neoga, that's closed down. I do see some traffic moving the interstates, but they said it's going to be hard for me to get to Neoga because Etna Road also has power lines down. And then there's power lines down further to the south and west here. So that's something that we're dealing with. So we're going to try and get to Neoga. It might take us a little bit of time, but they're out here checking on damage, checking on things like that. And that's how the night's going to go here in parts of southern Coles and down into the Cumberland County areas from Neoga off to the north and east. Live here on Route 45 at Trilla Road, I'm Jacob Dickey. Back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jacob. Do what you can. Obviously got to be careful out there. He'll navigate those back roads. He's been out on them many times. Hey, remember I was just talking about, it's starting to trim the tornado watch back. Hey, maybe Weather Service Lincoln watching our coverage here tonight because, boom, there they go. The counties fall off. Champaign, Douglas, Coles, Cumberland, all off now, so you're looking good. Fort and Iroquois is still just kind of watching things up there, but we're not seeing a ton. Still Vermilion, Edgar, Clark still under that watch here over the next hour or so probably before things are fully kind of lifted through the area. Still dealing with some heavy rainfall here tonight. Warnings are starting to expire, which is some good news. Still in effect for just a sliver of parts of Vermilion County. No longer in effect for Fort and Iroquois, a sliver, and I'll switch it back over so you can see it now, as we've got the computer to kind of catch up. Just those little bit. The last 1/16 of our viewing area on the far east side and then heading into Indiana. Now, if you're over there into Park County, Indiana, you guys do have a tornado warning there. That includes the Rockville area. So if you've got friends or family that live over in Indiana and Rockville, they've got a tornado warning there. A little bit of rotation showing up on a storm. And then also over into the Covington, Petersburg area, you guys may start to see some gusty winds as well. But that's what is left of our warnings here tonight. Again, we are still watching things. We're getting in some of these reports that will slowly trickle in. The thing is it's 1:18 in the morning on a Saturday, and so a lot of people potentially were asleep. A lot of people were haven't gone out and seen some of the damage. They're inside still. They may wake up to it tomorrow morning. So sometimes those damage reports can kind of lag behind a little bit. We may not hear about some of this until tomorrow, but it does look like, and I would say that it's a pretty safe guess. According to what I was seeing on radar, the confirmation from what is called a drop in the correlation coefficient or a little bit of a debris signature, that is definitely indicative that there was a tornado, because the only way you can get that signature is by having something lofted into the air, and that's what was showing up on radar. So probably did have something down towards Neoga. The Weather Service probably is going to go out tomorrow. They'll probably do a little survey of that, and maybe have a few spots that they have to kind of check out and see what has occurred, but all of that will come in due time here tonight. But here's the issue that we've got. Boy, there are a lot of people that are we good on that graphic there, Seth? So Adam, I keep seeing the colors change on this map.
Yeah, it's a kaleidoscope.
Yeah, it is. 4 or 5 hours ago, a lot of green on there, and now colors of the rainbow. And tell us about, again, correlate the colors there, kind of tell us what's going on.
All right, so the spots where we see the purple colors here, it's not because, we're seeing a lot of fun stuff going on. It's not a birthday party. All these colors mean different things. A 1K to 5K out of power in Champaign. Now, this is about 94,301 people in the state, in the entire state of Illinois, because remember, there are storms from the outside of our viewing area that did see some of that severe weather move on through, too, on the western portions of our state and closer to the St. Louis area, too, as well. You'll notice, though, that 3,252 out of power in Douglas County. That's a lot of folks. That's above 1,000 folks there without power there in Douglas County. They got hit pretty hard here, too. Shelby, another spot between 1,000 and 5,000. Christian County as well. And then even in Vermilion, we're starting to see some improvements compared to earlier on. But again, you're starting to see still some spots out there of just the purples and the reds here, so there's a lot of folks without power here, and again, it's one of those that you might not even realize they don't have power until tomorrow morning here when you wake up looking for damage too as well. Otherwise though, in Indiana, we haven't seen too much of a change just yet. It's more so out where we're seeing more of the western portions of our viewing area, kind of slight improvements. Livingston County, Ford County, Macon, and Montgomery County, even Jasper County, some of the better spots for our power outages, less than 10. But again, Champaign, Douglas, Christian, and Shelby County, some of the spots where we've seen some more of the intense storms kind of roll on through. Power outages across a good chunk of those counties there, about 1,000 to 5,000 people. And again, 3,252 out in Douglas County, 94,301 throughout the entire state of Illinois. Because remember, we have storms down to the south too. South of our viewing area in southern Illinois, they're watching out for severe weather too. They had a PDS tornado watch too, and they have severe weather down closer towards Carbondale, Mount Vernon area, and just outside of our viewing area towards the St. Louis area. That's where our thunderstorms came from. That caused a lot of commotion there towards I-70 up through into Neoga too as well. So it has been a busy night, not just for us, but across much of the state and into Missouri too as well. We're going to keep an eye on our totals. I know Seth is updating as much as he can, but we are getting those numbers to kind of rack up throughout the state and here in central Illinois. Kevin, back over to you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Adam. So you can see we've got a lot of us here tonight, still on the job here. It is 1:21 a.m. here this morning. With Adam, that is here in the studio with us, Seth as well, and Jacob, that is out in the StormTracker. Still, he's making his way on the back roads there, trying to get into the Neoga area to see what has occurred here tonight. So there you go, our team coverage, and there's the weather garden that's got its one side of its panels they're missing there on the fence here tonight, guys. So very minor damage for us. Other areas have seen much higher damage, obviously. A lot of people, as Adam was just mentioning, are without power. Shout out to the linemen and women that are going to be out there tonight that are going to be fixing all of the power lines through tomorrow. They've possibly got a lot of work ahead of them because there are a lot of counties they don't have power, as Adam was kind of showing us there. So they're going to be out there tonight. First responders, too, out there. I appreciate them doing their thing. Going into the weekend, a lot of us on a Friday, hey, we're all kind of the same. Yeah, I can't wait for the weekend. But now a lot of people putting in the OT and doing what they got to do to keep people safe, get the power back on, and clean up some of the damage out there for us tonight. Excuse me, I've been talking for a while here now. We are seeing this kind of back edge of the line of the storms moving through. Things starting to wrap up here in a little bit. We're going to give Jacob just a little bit of time to see if he can navigate his way into the Neoga area here. And because we want to try. He's on some country roads, and he's out there in the rural areas doing his best to navigate around where all these power lines went down. So we're going to give him some time. Hey, look at him. He's having to dodge. We got his shot up now. He's having to dodge, a few limbs here, and so kind of a rural area and some potholes there. We had some rain, and Jacob mentioned this a couple times here tonight, but he's right. this turned out to be a fairly good rainmaker for some areas. Much needed rain for the area to help, stop some of these vegetation and brush fires that have been going here for much of the night. Here's the thing, guys. Still going to be very windy tomorrow. And we're going to watch temperatures still warm up a little bit. I was looking at models that, you guys glance at this for me. I looked at one of the models earlier, was trying to fire up some more storms, did you see that?
Yeah, this morning, yeah.
Still over there. I'm see what the maybe the 6Z. I don't know if the 6Z model's out yet. Close, probably not just yet. But if you might see, basically across our far eastern, right about through here, where there might be some additional showers or a storm tomorrow. The severe weather threat tomorrow is well to our south, and for areas that could really be impacted by another major tornado outbreak that could occur to our south here tomorrow. I'm doing this on the fly here, so bear with me here for a second. Yeah, so there we go. So that is the severe storm prediction center threat, and look at that down in Mississippi and Alabama. High risk. It's the highest of the high. It doesn't get any higher than that. Storm prediction center has that out down there, and that is a classic corridor for tornadoes, especially this kind of time of the year. And so a lot of areas down to the south are going to be impacted, and I'll just kind of zoom in a little bit and we'll throw on some of those cities. So that's obviously the Birmingham area, Tuscaloosa, back to Jackson, Montgomery, Columbus, Mississippi. It could be a dangerous, deadly day down there with the potential for tornadoes. So we've had a little bit up here tonight. St. Louis area got hit, but they're going to be in for it here tomorrow. For us, again, this is what I was talking about. See, kind of the margin just kind of barely clips some of our counties there. So maybe the potential for a shower or a thunderstorm tomorrow night. Or I say tomorrow kind of afternoon. So we'll leave you with that right now. Jacob is coming across. His shot's kind of dark, and I think it's dark because there's no power in that area. And looks like a power pole? Little power pole there. He's trying to adjust his shot there. You kind of see it. Be careful of some lines that are there, Jacob. I see a little flashing light. Is that like a little light? Oh, there we go. Night vision. He's got okay, there you go. Now you can see it. He's got his night vision on. So now you can clearly see that, Jacob. Can you tell by your eyes how many poles potentially? And where's your location?
Yeah, hey Kevin, we're just east of I-57, and we've been kind of snaking our way. So when that signature popped up, this is about where it popped up here, between 45 and 57, because it hit the interchange there at the exit for Neoga and carried off to the north and east. So we are on 1300 north now, looking west. I-57, you can kind of see the traffic at the distance. It looks like 3 or 4, but I'll be honest, they kind of extend further to the back there. You can see 2 for sure here on the shot, but there's a couple more that are back there, and I think that's probably a no-brainer, going to be where that tornado damage occurred. I can see emergency lights to my left. That's down towards the Neoga area. We're close. We're going to try and get to the Neoga area, but we're planning we're dealing with a little maze here, trying to hit these country roads where there's power lines down. No one's here on scene, so this is 1350 and 1300 North Road, 1350 East, 1300 North Road. There's no one out here. If you're driving and not paying attention and come across that, it can not work well for you. So that's why we're just encouraging folks to stay home for the night. And so that's what we're dealing with here. Trying to tell if there's any structures off to my right here as I'm now facing back south. And hard to tell. There may be a grove of trees that look like they've gotten out a little bit.
Tell me again your streets there. I'm going to try to pull it up here on the maps. What are the streets that or the roads that you're on?
Yeah, so 1350 east and 1300 north. It's going to be about 2 miles, let's see, halfway between 57 and 45. If you're at the point where 45 goes from northeast to north, just go straight west from there and you'll find that intersection right by I-57. We're facing south now and going to kind of sneak our way in here. Should be on 45 in about 60 seconds or so, but of course these roads, they got gravel and water on them, so we got to take things slow here and make sure we don't hit anything else in this area, Kevin.
Yeah, you can kind of see the ruts there in the road where the water, where some of the rain and whatnot has pooled up a little bit there. Those dirt roads, gravel roads, not the best there. So definitely be careful. But so you said, are you on like 30? You say 3,500? Was that right? Or?
1350, and that'd be 1350 north, or sorry, 1350 east. Well, hang on a minute here. Let me figure this out. So it's going to be 350. I am so sorry. 350. I'm off by 10 miles there. 350 east and 1300 north. Did I say that right? No,
okay.
I don't even, yeah, 1300 north, 350 east. What it is. You probably find that a little easier. My bad. It's late, Kevin.
Hey, listen, man. Yeah, no problem there. No problem. We got you in the general location there. So yeah, you're
yeah. Before
go ahead.
Before I snake down into Neoga, I see some flashing lights up here and some houses in this area. So I'm just going to come up here and kind of check it out and make sure the lights are on here too. So sometimes with these tornadoes, they're so small, you see them not affect power lines in spots, and then you see them affect power lines in other spots. So not sure, but we're just kind of snaking our way back here, and we'll see if we have to backtrack from this here. But looks like my camera is trying to mess with me a little bit there. We'll tighten that up, and you'll be able to see that a little bit better there. So yeah, and I can still see flashing lights on 57. It does look like traffic is moving on 57 now, I'll say that. We earlier, when I drove through there, seeing those semis tangled up, there was no doubt in my mind that was going to be a problem. And they're still looking like they're cleaning up down there, but now as we move west here on, this is 1200 North Road, just to the east of 57. Again, due northeast from where that signature showed up first on radar. Maybe a little bit of damage to this farm here. I see maybe that shed in the back that's a little impacted, so bear with me here. I can't tell if that's... We're just kind of investigating things here at this point, Kevin.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, we're all just kind of doing this all together. It's live TV. This is what you get when we have the ability to bring you live coverage, not just kind of talking about what's happening on a radar. We can talk about and bring you live pictures and bring reports from the field, and we find that real useful, obviously, to the public out there to be able to kind of understand and see what's going on. Looks like you got some.
So here we go, Kevin.
Yep.
There's some more power lines down in front of me here. It looks like that officer is blocking the road, and then I'm just going to briefly turn in here, and you'll be able to see a little bit of that damage here, and to that shed in the back as well. You can kind of make out where this farm took a hit from that tornado there. Things are a little crooked.
No, I see. Oh, we can see it. We can see some of the.
There we go.
Some of the guys there.
Some of the damage that came from that.
Is that a little outbuilding there?
And I'm a mile north of the interstate exit. Yeah, I'm a mile north of the interstate exit as well. So right in the path of where this likely tornado, I mean, I'm pretty sure it was tornado, Kevin, at this point, but National Weather Service is going to survey. And then there's tree damage here as well. The house looks fine for the most part, little siding missing from it, but the shed in the back has some issues, and there may be another shed as well with some damage here at this location. So definitely got hit with some problems here. There's doing some cleanup in this area, and probably the daylight will reveal what's going on. And as I look, I can't show you on the camera, but I kind of glanced off. There's a grove of trees. It looks like some of those trees have been snapped off a little bit. You kind of tell in the darkness whether it's the tree is okay, or if it looks a little, some of those finer limbs are gone. It's just more, I don't want to say sticky in nature, but you know what I'm trying to say, more just kind of the main stump is there. So there may be some tree damage that's a little bit further to the north here. So give me about 5 minutes. I think I'm going to make it to Neoga. We'll see here. But I want to get to the elementary school and show you some of that damage. And we've had a number of those photos come on in, and this probably, I don't know if you'd agree, Kevin, might have been some of the harder hit parts in town, perhaps?
Yeah, I would say so. And yeah, continue to navigate there. It's like, you go one way, then you come across more power lines. So Jacob's trying to just kind of snake his way around on some of those country roads there to eventually get to Neoga. So that's what you did. So if you're out there and you're thinking, I want to go in and check it out, look what he is dealing with, trying to get around. So hold off. let the first responders, look at some of these roads, he's turning on and whatnot. Let the first responders that get out there, block the roads, see where the power lines are, so because here's the thing, you don't want to drive into one of these. And he was mentioning how when it's dark, you can't see, so you could drive right into that. So just be careful out there tonight. Seth, what do you got?
They are about to tornado warn the storm in Jasper County. Believe it or not, there's one cell that you can see right there south of Newton. It sounds like they're about to tornado warn that here in a few moments.
Yeah, so a little guy there south there of Newton, and so in Jasper County, and there it is, just popping up on your screen. So you're seeing that right there, and that's going to be crossing over Highway 130. Oh boy, another tornado warning down there. Again, this is kind of on the super fringe southeastern part of our kind of viewing area that we cover, but we still kind of watch this area down here. I know that the Terre Haute market kind of covers them, but if you may remember here a couple of years ago, we talked about the Robinson tornado that came through, and so we're kind of down here again, just keeping an eye on this. New tornado warning cell is down there. So if you know anybody that lives down there, near the Newton area, there's definitely some rotation on that, and that is going to be lifting to the northeast of Willow Hill. That location down there, you need to be in your tornado safe spot. It's going to pass south of Rose Hill and the Hidalgo area, but just a tight little circulation that is showing up that eventually could go into Crawford County, the Oblong area, as that lifts off to the north and to the east. And so this is the Jasper County, extreme southeastern portions of Illinois here, but the Weather Service going ahead and issuing a tornado warning for that cell that is located down there here tonight. So let's kind of show you the wider view of things, and we'll just kind of go along and show you, from Casey to Marshall and Paris still have a little bit of rain, but things should be calming down there in Chrisman. Yeah, you still got some heavy rain ongoing there up in Georgetown. I know Georgetown, Danville, Bismarck area, you guys still had some pretty gusty winds coming through. But you're seeing the worst of it probably push off there into Indiana. Same up here now into Iroquois County, but definitely seeing things kind of trickle off back out here to the west. This is, again, the tornado watch no longer in effect for a good chunk of our area. The last kind of row of counties, and then kind of Jasper County there, where they still maintained that new tornado warning that has just been issued here for tonight. So watching that little spot down there. Also watching Jacob. There's Jacob. What do you got there?
Yeah, 1 second, Kevin. Is it clear under the bridge?
WCIA.
Hey, how we doing? Is it clear under the bridge by chance?
Yeah, you clear.
Okay.
I'm gonna thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Because I was there watching it when you give this thing out, and I jumped in my truck and went out and got the fire trucks going.
Oh, hey, I'm glad to hear that there. Do you know much about the exit or the crash here in the interstate?
Not yet. 2 of the trucks have already cleared, and one of them's in the side, and can't remember the other, but they're got one lane's going south and one lane going north. There's a big telephone pole over there that got blown down, and all these power lines are down all the way through. The high school suffered major damage.
Yeah, I'm heading that way next.
Okay.
So, what's your name by chance?
Bob Thomas.
And you're with Neoga Fire?
Yeah, well, back last day of December, I retired after 51 years. And what am I doing out here?
What are you doing out here? Helping out. Hey, we appreciate what you're doing and keeping folks safe as well.
I'll
So,
tell you what, we're really glad that you guys have staying on the television.
yeah.
That really means a lot.
Appreciate that. Hey, thanks so much for talking with us here real quick. Is there any other damage in Neoga, or is it pretty much just the school?
The city's going around cutting trees up, getting them out of the road. The city clerk told me that somebody lost the front porch off their house, and I don't know, the truck stop back there has got damaged back there.
Yeah.
And so,
And again, say your name one more time.
Bob Thomas.
Bob Thomas. Hey, Bob. We're here, Kevin. I think you can see Bob on our camera.
Yeah.
Kevin Lighty, I'm talking to him right now.
Kevin, you guys are doing a great job.
Hey, we appreciate that. So we were talking about, we were, I don't know if you were watching, we saw something kind of looks a little weird in the Neoga areas.
Yeah, we watched you. My wife and I sat up and we weren't going to go to bed until you were home.
Well, I don't know how late I'll be home. Kevin's going to keep me looking for things around here. I think he should let me go back. What do you think, Kevin?
I mean, listen. You've done a great job tonight. If you need to call it a night, but here's the thing: I know secretly you want to be out there doing this here.
They did transport 2 people to Sarah Bush.
Say it again.
They transported 2 people to Sarah Bush.
2 people transported to Sarah Bush. Is that from here in the interstate?
Yes.
Okay, Kev, we just learned 2 people were transported from this area to Sarah Bush. We don't know much more about that. We're just finding that out.
They went to St. Anthony.
Say that one more time.
They went to St.
Oh, St. Anthony, not Sarah Bush.
Right.
Okay, going to clarify. St. Anthony, 2 people transported with injuries from this storm damage in Neoga. And so that's something coming from the interstate. When I drove through, Kevin, I could see there was a mess up there now, but they've cleared a few of those wrecks. We've got state police on scene here. We've got Neoga Fire, and we're going to head to the school now to check more on that damage. Hey, Bob, come here. Appreciate what you're doing.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah, Kevin.
Hey, Bob. Tell them we appreciate everything that they're doing out there and coming out of retirement to help out.
Bob, Kevin wanted to tell you that he appreciates you coming out of retirement. I think Kevin might have to send him a card or something. What do you think? Anything you want from Kevin Lighty?
Oh, ribeye steak.
The ribeye steak, Kevin. That's on you.
I got you, Bob.
He wants a ribeye steak.
We appreciate
Bob, thanks so much for what you do. Kevin says he's got you. We'll be in touch. Kevin, we're gonna head into the school district now here. Of course, we're seeing some power lines down.
We have had people asking your exact location. What are your exact spot right now?
Yeah, so this right here is the interstate exit, 45 and 57 in Neoga. You can see here that fire and state police are here, and so we're going to kind of move across to get to the other side and see what's going on. The interstate exit, all right, let me rephrase that. The on-ramp is closed to get northbound on 57. There's power lines down to the north side of 45 here. And crews are still moving through. We hear more sirens and ambulances coming through from this area now. I think you might be able to hear that in the background. Yeah. But still an active scene down here. So we do know there were 2 injuries from this here. And you can kind of see the power lines there.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
There
yeah, look at that. Yeah. That's a big pole.
So it's going to be a mess to clean up out here, but Bob Thomas from Neoga Fire, he was telling us more about what was going on in this area, and we appreciate all of our firefighters, Kevin. I mean, between the fire risk and cleaning up the damage out here, our first responders, linemen, police officers, first aid, medical, all of them have done tremendous work tonight. It's been a great team effort, and we're going to keep the cleanup. And, you know, Kevin, it's early in spring, isn't it?
It is early, and yeah, shout out there, old Robert, Robert Thomas out there, old Bob out there doing his thing, and yeah, appreciate him, like you said, everybody out there tonight. And it's all a hands on deck thing. It's the reason why our entire weather team is here. All 4 of our awesome team here with us. All of our people back in production that have been here with us all night, pulling overtime on a Friday night going into a weekend. So we appreciate everybody out here doing their thing, and the first responders, and they're going to be cleaning up the power as well. So there we go. We'll try to get Bob his ribeye there. So there you go. Adam is still here with us. Seth is here with us. Any other last things? Brandon Morano has been in here with us as well, joining us. So we're going to see if Jacob can get into Neoga here. He's getting close. Seth, anything you want to add here right now?
Yeah, just went back and looked at the history of all the warnings issued. Ended up with that one in Jasper County. That made the 15th separate tornado warning on the night. So very busy night. That doesn't necessarily suggest, of course, that there was 15 tornadoes, but 15 different tornado warnings issued here in our viewing area. So very busy night to say the least, and of course if there was 15 tornado warnings, you can only imagine how many severe thunderstorm warnings there were. So just very busy nights, hopefully winding down here with just that last one.
I think every county had a warning, right?
I don't think anybody avoided it. I think nobody split the gap. I'd have to go back and look, but it was pretty all around.
Yeah, now not every city got damage, but there are several that did, and some that probably don't even know that they've had damage until they get up in the morning and go look outside and go, "Hun, the tree's down over here," and a lot of people still asleep here tonight. Adam, you've been kind of watching things here tonight. There's still that storm that's over there, and kind of your takeaways here, and just watching that storm now that's down there west of Robinson.
Well, I will say my first takeaway there, Kevin, is my day started this time yesterday at about 1:42. That's when I got up and get ready for work.
24 hours.
About 24 hours. I took a nap in between, but it was a very short-lived nap here. You'll see that we have there by St. Marie there. I think that's St. Marie. That's in Willow Hill. That's where we're seeing that rotation still. A little bit more broad, but enough to still warn a tornado warning. Again, not too far from Booz and Newton, getting closer to Oblong. So again, you're not in the tornado warning there in Oblong, but it's Willow Hill and St. Marie. That's the area we're kind of watching out for. You can see Granville, south of you. Hudsonville, you're kind of close to it, but still outside of the warning area. Again, very broad in nature, but we're still kind of watching. It's starting to tighten up a little bit more here as we look at it. Newton, you're out of that zone here. It's just one cell. Again, radar indicated rotation there until 2 a.m. Jasper County, and hail's not a big concern, but man, that rotation looks pretty good. Might even see some strong wind gusts with it too as well. Again, Granville not in it. Oblong, you're next up. If they continue to issue this tornado warning, it's going to stay away from the Newton area, the Falmouth area, and Smallwood, you're outside of that area. It's very tight, small little cell here. Oh, they just extended that tornado warning. Radar indicated rotation there for Clark and Crawford County. That is until 2:30 a.m. 1-inch hail, a possibility too as well. So again, Oblong, Dogwood, out towards Robinson and Hudsonville too, all the way to the Wabash River there to the edge of the state line. That's where we're seeing that tornado warning continue on here, just south of Moonshine and Granville. So Willow Hill, you're under that first warning. Booz, I think you're out of it here. It's more like St. Marie, Willow Hill, Oblong, Dogwood, just on the edges of Hunt City there. Robinson, Hudson, those are the spots we're watching right now for this cell to come through here. And that's not the most messy storm. I think that's one of the more clear spots we've seen of just a kind of a cellular structure move through here. And again, we're just kind of watching this because we haven't had any confirmation or anything, but we're still kind of watching this. Let's look more of those towns too. Porterville, Hudsonville, getting closer to the Wabash River before it moves all the way into Indiana. Here's some spots to kind of watch out for. Oblong at 150, and then about the time we get to 153, it's Stoy. And this is also in Central Time too. I know this eventually is going to go to Indiana and flip over to Eastern Time here. Robinson at 158, 201, Lincoln Trail College, and then about 205 we're at Hudsonville High School, Hudsonville area, and then Marone at about 308. So again, this storm's going to keep tracking on through. We're going to keep an eye on it too as well. Some rotation with that storm. That's why they've had that severe thunderstorm warning now turned into a tornado warning there for places like really Crawford County and Clark County too. Hudsonville, Robinson, Lamont. Those are spots we got to kind of watch out for. Pierceburg, Oblong, Willow Hill. Again, watching that storm, you can kind of see a little bit of a hail core on there too as well. Some heavy precipitation with this storm as it moves off to the north and east. Again, Dogwood, Oblong, spots up next. Porterville, Licking, you're going to be in the storm, but I don't know if you're going to be in the spot of the rotation. Still, take it seriously. If you're in this area of tornado warning ahead of the storm, take it seriously. I think Booz is out on the edge of it here, so you're in a good spot there if you're out towards Booz here. So there you go. Those are our two spots we're kind of watching out. Two tornado warnings here. As you get closer towards this is like the far southern corner of our viewing area too, so not many folks out there, but we still want to keep an eye on that. And this is going to start moving into more of Terre Haute area, into Stockton area there, into Indiana. Again, starting to get closer and closer to the edge of the state line. A lot of our storms have started to move closer to the state line too, starting to move more into Indiana and becoming more of an issue there for the Terre Haute area. Kevin, back over to you.
Okay, thanks a lot, Adam. Appreciate the update over there. Again, we're watching that storm down there near Robinson. And again, this kind of, this reminds me from a few years ago when we had a tornado warning. They had that strong storm that came through, EF3 tornado, did a lot of damage, went into over into Indiana there as well. But I remember getting a message from someone saying, hey, we were watching, or I was watching your coverage. She said her mom and dad live over in Robinson, and they didn't know a storm was coming, and so she called them up, said, "Hey, take shelter," and the tornado would have hit them there potentially. And she's like, "You guys really helped us here, and possibly saved my parents' life." So that sticks with me when we talk about kind of Robinson. Anytime we get another storm down that way, even though it's kind of really on the fringe of our viewing area, there's still some people that are watching us here tonight. I know there's people watching us. Here's the thing: we've been streaming for several hours now and talking about these storms. And this stream has gotten shared by multiple people across the. So there's people watching us from all over, and they're getting, "Hey, what's going on down here in Missouri? Why aren't you talking about us down in Missouri?" So we're a TV station located in central Illinois and cover an area here. I will say this, there are bad storms down there in the Boot Heel, Missouri, down now near Paducah, Kentucky, far southern Illinois. You guys are definitely seeing a lot of bad weather down there. So we're not going to, obviously focus on that. I encourage you to go to your local stations that are there, that are surely doing coverage as well, whether it's on TV or hopefully online or whatnot. But I'll tell you, yes, I mean, look at all those tornado warnings that are well to our south into parts of Missouri, New Madrid, right there at the confluence of the Ohio and the Mississippi. Over in Cairo, finding tornado warnings down that way. So, yeah, and then south Harrisburg there, McLeansboro, where we were for the eclipse down there. So they're still dealing with that. And again, so this is kind of the furthest south that we go in our areas. But if you're down there near the Oblong area, strong rotation stirring up on radar, it looks like this would probably pass to the north of Robinson there, but heading towards the Porterville area. So something to keep an eye on here tonight. All right, Jacob is back on here with us, and I believe he's made his way into Neoga, and he's found his way, I'm going to guess, that's the school. Is that right, Jacob? Where are you at? What are you seeing?
Yeah, hey Kevin, we are looking at the school right now, and I'm kind of getting set still here, but we're not able to get any closer at this point. We're going to try and go a little bit different way moving on, but to give you an idea of where we are, so the school building is right here, and it's really dark over there, but a lot of the roof has been damaged. The parking lot has a lot of debris in it. Right next to me is where the buses park. They've not been touched. Fire department is over here. I talked to one of the firefighters. They've got the area blocked off. They said mainly the damage in town is from the school, and that's something where here at the school they saw a lot of it, but just a block west, not much damage and whatnot. The superintendent and staff is here in sight, the fire department told me, and they are dealing with a possible gas leak at the school and a lot of damage to the buildings itself, so there will be some cleanup with things that go on here. So Kevin, I'm going to send it back to you. One thing to mention is that with the damage here, it seems like, the school kind of sticks out in the east side of town. It seems like this may have just glancing blow happened to hit the school building, continued off to the north and east, crossed the interstate where those semi-trucks were tangled up, happened to cross, then continue going to the north and east towards Trilla Road, Etna Road on 45, and maybe somewhere up that way lifted. But we don't know yet. The National Weather Service, they're probably going to be down here tomorrow assessing things. It doesn't look like one of the tornadoes that they're having in southern Illinois. There's been some big signatures down that way, but still we do have damage here. We do have a report of 2 injuries from this scene here in the Neoga area. No further word on that. Those 2 people were involved in the interstate, and they have been transported to St. Anthony Hospital according to firefighters here in the Neoga area. Live here at Neoga, Kevin, I'm going to try and readjust. Maybe you stick with me a little bit longer. It's late and you're still watching that storm as we've been talking about by Robinson. Keep an eye on that. So you keep talking about that. I'll reposition, try and get some more information.
Sure.
I don't want to promise I can get the superintendent. I know he's busy with a bunch of things, but maybe we'll try and get some more information from them as well, because at least it's a Friday. There's a Saturday and Sunday to figure out a plan here, but clearly school, if this week is spring break, and that might be something you can do, Kevin, look up on the calendar if Neoga's on spring break.
Spring break, yeah.
Yeah, and that might be something that we can do. That may give them more time to figure out what they're going to do next, but things are going to look a little different here for students in the Neoga School District based on the damage to this building. Live in Neoga, I'm Jacob Dickey. Back to you, Kevin.
I'm also going to guess it's somebody in our chat that's watching. We have several thousand people watching. It might be able to tell us pretty quick if Neoga's in spring break or not. Okay, we're still watching our storm that is here, not on spring break. I just say there we go. No, they just had it. So there we go. There's the chat. And Seth just found it as well. So
Last week.
It was last week, so they just had it. So no, they're going to have to try to do some cleaning up here over the weekend. We'll see, how extensive the damage is. Obviously, he's showing us the pictures there. A large part of the building obviously still intact there, so it's not like, the tornado came and, took the whole thing out. But obviously there is some significant damage there, 2 parts of the school system over there. So thank you to all the people that were just, that are on the chat telling us that. So again, while we're here with you guys, it's a good time to answer any questions that we may have in the chat room. And I know you guys have been waiting patiently, or maybe you fired up some questions. We were in the thick of it, couldn't answer some of that. So we're going to take a little time here to do that now as we watch our storm that's down here west of Robinson. And so if you have a question about something here tonight, we'll do our best to answer it for you between myself, Jacob, Adam, and Seth here. And I'm going to give a shout out to our intern, Jason, that's been here with us tonight as well. The Jason intern with us, and he's like, hey man, can I come in and check things out tonight? And he's been here with us tonight as well, even helping out behind the scenes. So appreciate him coming in on a college kid on a Friday night, spending his time with a bunch of weather nerds. Huh? He's one of us, I guess. Okay, so here's some questions starting to come in. Well, here's something for you, Jacob. Somebody said, tell him to go to south on 5th Street to the house that lost the porch. So, Jacob, if you're hearing, there's a house on south, or go south on 5th Street to the house that lost the porch. Somebody's mentioning that there in Neoga. Where was this at? Mike, it was in Neoga, Illinois is where that is. Do we know when the power is going to come back? Whew, no, unfortunately, we do not know that. I know that the crews are out and they're doing what they can to restore, but there are thousands of people without power tonight, and it's going to take. It's a lot harder to do, at nighttime in the dark and whatnot. Is Danville in the clear now? Let me just double check here. I'm pretty sure that you are. Oh yeah, Danville is in the clear. Things are looking good there. You've already made your way to the porch there, it looks like. So it looks like the porch, part of the porch. Boy, he got there quick. What do you see there, bud?
Yeah, so we're about 2 blocks south of the school. This might be it. I would think that porch has got some fencing there that's down on the ground. And then you can kind of see up on the roof. Maybe I'm going to put my night shot on again, my night vision, and that might help the roof pop out a little bit more. You can kind of see on the roof, too, it looks like the corner of the roof has some damage to it here. This might have been about where it started. And I think, if I double check my map here, so this is going to be Wilson Avenue and 5th Street. And it's basically the last house on the east side of town here. So, maybe the tornado just barely touched down and caught the corner of this house. And then, we look over here and that's the interstate and the bridge there. So that's probably the spot if I had to make my bet here. So, Kevin, I'm going to try and get a better vantage point here too. And I think I might, but I tell you what, it's so dark, it's hard to see things. Let's see here if I can get you a vantage point. Oh, I think you might be able to see it here in a second. So in front of me here, it'll take me a second to adjust the camera. You'll kind of see some of the damage that they're dealing with, and I'll turn the night vision off. Maybe I need to turn it back on. That's the big red sign there, the Neoga Elementary School, and I see some flashlights over there. The building still has power. You can see I'm kind of checking things and looking over things there, and I heard that the elementary school, it looks like on the right side. Let's try the night vision back on, see if that helps. If you ever driven by on the interstate, you'd know what the building looks like. It's got that big glass atrium up there on the right side. You can kind of see it maybe a little bit better now here. It's hard to tell from this point, and they won't let me get any closer, but they're checking out that area with that building, and then it looks like to me whatever this building is, maybe you can see it a little bit better, Kevin, but I feel like inside there,
yeah, is that like
something's going on?
Maintenance stuff in there, or yeah.
I was thinking that, or that might be the high school, to be totally honest.
That looks like a John Deere mower. So that green, yellow.
Yeah, maybe that is. I didn't know. I know the buildings are all. It's all right here. This is a small school district. But, is that maybe a gymnasium or a shed or something like that?
I think it's probably a shed.
You know where you can find that where you can find that information out. Just check the chat. Somebody's probably watching and saying, no, that's what this is here.
Let's see here.
And the greenhouse, there's a greenhouse probably from the
Yep, maintenance, yes. Brittany
so
says
there's the greenhouse right there.
The ag shop. It's the ag shop at the high school.
Oh, yeah, the FFA program. There's a greenhouse right there. It looks like it's maybe got torn up. And then the building is there on the right. You can make out the letters clear as day in the dark here, but I don't think they're going to let me much closer, and there's really no other way to get to it. It just sits there on the east side of town. So yeah, we will
confirmation
do what we can,
confirmation of the ag shop there. Several people ag shop there. Ag class is what that is there. So there you go. Yeah, looks like that got hit a little hard. Looks like the kids might have a little extra homework to do soon.
Yeah, something like that. I know the FFA program down here is pretty active with Neoga. Cody Carmen is the ag teacher here. In fact, I knew Cody back in the day when I was in FFA. He was a state officer down here, and so I'm sure he's involved in this process. And, they're keeping folks away from the school at this point because of potential gas leak. They said they had gas alarms going off, and there's, of course, roof damage and things of that. So that's kind of what we're dealing with here, but, we'll zoom in as much as we can, and you can kind of see some folks are walking through there and investigating things and whatnot. So, the ag shop, the greenhouse, the school building, We took a hit, and as unfortunate as that is, Kevin, here, that sits on the east side of town. If this tornado was a quarter mile to the west, you would put it through the middle of town, and we don't really know the strength of it yet, but there'd be a lot of homes damaged from it here in this particular situation. I'm not trying to make this a good thing, because obviously this is a big hit for the school district and whatnot, and for the town, but if that tornado was a little stronger and a little further in town, maybe we'd be dealing with something a little different around here. But so far, just hearing only 2 injuries from the interstate in town here. Most of the town is okay, power's on, just the school building here. Late Friday night, no one's at the school building. So that's maybe the good thing to take away from this, Kevin.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's the thing. Yeah, it could have been worse, but it's worse for somebody out there tonight, having to deal with some of that as well. Okay, still watching the storm here, and Jacob, you just kind of let me know kind of your thoughts and your plans out there, and I'll be listening. But we're still watching our storm here that is now well northwest of Robinson. That is going to be heading, it may actually start to kind of, come in there and clip southeastern Clark County towards the West York area, West Union, Hudsonville, right there along where the Wabash River is, okay? Something to kind of to watch with that is down there. Still, a tornado warning continues down in that area. Watching again some of the rotation that is occurring. So you've got, Marshall that's up here. So that's going to be kind of going right here south of the Terre Haute area. Well, south of Terre Haute, but still some of that rotation that we've got. Getting in some reports of potentially some damage across the street from Gordyville. So up near the Gifford area there in Gordyville. Our entire garage is gone. We have debris on our house. There are trailers tipped over. They're having a horse show. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. So up there towards Gordyville, potentially some damage up there tonight. So that just coming into us here as well. So a lot of places still dealing with it. That is kind of the back edge. There's really nothing else that's down there here tonight. There's Jacob again. Looks like he's got some more kind of tree damage and whatnot there across Neoga tonight. Again, thanks to everybody who joining us here this evening and watching some of our coverage. It's now 2 a.m. 2 a.m. Saturday morning. Here we are. Thanks for sticking here with us. A lot of you staying up with us early this morning. Might need to get a little coffee here. Keep her going, but we're doing our best to share all the information that we can here with you tonight. This back edge of the storms continues to move through, and we'll give Jacob just a little bit longer here to kind of look at things down there in Neoga to give us some of his final reports coming up. Adam, look at that line over there. Look at all those tornado warnings down to the south there, southern Illinois, and Kentucky.
Yeah, there's a lot there, and you can even see that we have some confirmed there with the pink right there in southern Illinois. Let's see if we can get closer to just kind of say that. It's the east side of Harrisburg, near Gold Hill, getting closer and closer to the Wabash River, kind of where the Wabash and Ohio split right there. Harold's Prairie and north of Cadids. Again, this is one of those spots where, not in our viewing area, but they've been pretty active. They've had a PDS, or particularly dangerous situation tornado watch, issued earlier today. Further down the line, they're closer to Port Paducah. If we could zoom in a little bit more there, you can see that there towards Hillerman and Brownfield, north of Paducah. That's where they're seeing another tornado warning as well. And again, Mounds has been another spot that's been kind of impacted. Cairo down towards Hickman. So the Paducah office at the National Weather Service there, kind of a really busy night there. Out towards Madrid too in Missouri. They've had a busy night too, I'm guessing as well. It has just been just a really busy time across the area. The good news is that we're starting to see kind of towards the tail end of our weather, even just our regular garden variety precipitation. We're still watching that one spot there down to the south there, but look at how long of a system it kind of came through here. In some spots it sped up pretty quickly. You can kind of see kind of the rotations within the system itself too, or the line of storms. And I did mention this morning and during the forecast, if we get some spots that are a little bit more segmented and kind of more isolated in nature, we could see some supercellular structure, and that's what we saw, especially as it started to move into our viewing area here. Started to congeal a little bit more once it got to the western edges of our viewing area, but now we're kind of focusing down to the south there. In the south, northeast corner of our viewing area, way down there, closer towards the Terre Haute area, getting close to the Terre Haute area. We're watching out for that tornado warning. That's going to go on until about 2:30 or so. Looks like they put an extension there for the office there in Indianapolis there, or the Terre Haute, just south of the Terre Haute area. So again, that's within our viewing area. On the other side of the Wabash River, on the western side of it, that's for Clark and Crawford County here. That is until 2:30 here in central Illinois, and 3:30, didn't skip a whole hour, it just is going to a different time zone, Eastern time there in Sullivan and Vigo County. That's not in our viewing area, but we're still going to talk about it because probably people know some folks there in Vigo County and Sullivan County there on the other side. North of Hudsonville is where we're starting to see some of that rotation here. It's getting closer and closer to the Wabash River. Darwin, one of those spots you need to watch out for, and Riverview, Hudsonville, just slightly south of where that rotation is, where that storm is, and it's moving off to the north and east. Again, radar indicated rotation, still want to take this seriously, and we've kind of talked about this all night. There it is, just north and west of Hudsonville. That's where that rotation is, where the pinks meet the reds. That's a spot to watch out for too. But again, this is one of those kind of nights where, you know, it's pretty late. A lot of folks are in bed. I normally would be in bed right now on a Saturday morning here, so we want to make sure you have those weather alerts available, and it's hard to see what's going on. It's not one of those where you can just go outside and see what's happening here. It's going to be probably rain wrap most likely, for one, and for two, it's dark. Hard to see out there. There's not a lot of lights out there compared to a little bit more of the further towards Champaign or towards Effingham. There's a little bit more infrastructure out that way. So keep that in mind. This is south of I-70 here. Again, Riverview, Hudsonville, north of Hudsonville, northeast of town, or northwest of town, excuse me, right there. That's where we're seeing that rotation with this storm here. Again, that is a tornado warning till 2:30 for Clark and Crawford County on the edges of our viewing area, and then another tornado warning for Vigo and Sullivan County there until 3:30 a.m. Eastern time. So central to Eastern time right there as it moves into the Hoosier state. But look at our viewing area. A lot of us starting to clear things out, even in terms of just regular precipitation too, as well. So that's kind of the good news. We're starting to see that last couple of kind of wind down towards the end of our event here. And we kind of said about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, that's when this would all start to wind down a bit more here. Still watching that one spot again down towards Clark County here. Kevin, back over to you.
So we're getting some people that are asking, hey, I'm in Martinsville, east of Casey there. Why are my sirens going off? Well, there's a sliver of Clark County. Every county does something different. Sometimes if part of the county gets the warning, the sirens will go off for the whole county or for places there. Martinsville, I'll tell you right now, you're obviously not in the threat area there. It is your extreme southeastern portion of Clark County. It is down here, as you can see, near Walnut Prairie, along Route 1. That is the location. It is not Casey. It is not Martinsville, okay? It's not even Marshall, but sounds like some sirens might be going off. The Terre Haute area, you would be impacted by this possibly down towards Sullivan, but as far as our area that we cover, we're kind of looking at the extreme southeastern sliver of Clark County there, again, east of Martinsville. So that's why potentially those sirens, that's just kind of a technical thing that sometimes happens. And every jurisdiction does something different in a different way. So there we go. I see moonshine down there. It's making me think of the moonshine burgers that you can go and get. Looks like hopefully they fared okay down that way as well. Okay, so again, a lot of people are watching us here from other locations and go, hey, what's going on in other spots here? We predominantly, we cover central Illinois, okay? That's our kind of viewing area. I know we've got a lot of people have just kind of stumbled upon maybe our live stream because we've been going on here all night and kind of covering a lot. So I'll just kind of briefly talk about it because maybe you've not been able to find streaming coverage where you are, but boy, some strong storms down in Kentucky, down here Paducah and whatnot, several tornado warnings. I encourage you to check out your local channels there, or TV, radio, or weather service there, wherever you can get information, as they're going to be doing their own bit of coverage with those warnings. For our area, we've got a sliver of Clark County that's left with this, and that's going to be it. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that a lot of the tornado watch has kind of been trimmed back. And still the county's on there, but for the most part, we're done here tonight. We're giving Jacob just a little bit more time here, before we kind of sign things off here for tonight, as we're kind of wrapping up our coverage again. I know some of you are watching in other spots, but looks like we are getting some more reports in here about some damage there north of Gifford. that left some pretty hefty damage, I'm being told, up that way. So that's something that we're going to watch. And that was kind of where they kind of repopped that tornado warning up that way earlier tonight. So up here towards Gifford and whatnot is where we've had some reports of some of the damage. So we'll have to kind of see what happened up there, because that's exactly where they reissued that tornado warning. So we may have had something up there tonight as well. So we'll have to kind of watch out for that as some of those damage reports come in. And again, I think that the light of day could reveal even more damage in a few spots that we haven't even heard about yet. So that's something to kind of keep in mind here overnight, that we're probably not hearing all what has occurred. We're hearing the big stuff, and that is, again, down in Neoga, where there's most likely a tornado that occurred. Several tornadoes occurred down in the St. Louis area here tonight. Things are obviously a lot quieter. So now Indiana about to deal with all of this through the early morning hours of tomorrow morning. Or I should say today. Tomorrow. We haven't gone to bed yet, so as far as we're concerned, it is still today, right?
Friday night.
Yeah, it's Friday night. There you go. A lot of people without power here tonight, and it may take a while for you to get your power to come back on. So you're kind of going to have to kind of be patient with everybody. And Jen, just while we're on here with you guys, just want to make a mention of this service that we've talked about a few times. But as things are kind of winding down tonight, before the next system arrives, you could get our service weather call. Where you get a phone call. And again, this isn't for everybody. But for some people, you may want to get a phone call from us. And this would have worked tonight. You should have gotten a phone call if you did sign up and you've got warnings. You can scan the QR code or go to our website, WCIA.com, and under the weather page, under the tab, you'll see a weather call. Sign up and you can go and get that little service that we've got that for some people, it'll come in handy, because 1 o'clock in the morning, a phone call maybe wakes you up. Maybe you don't hear the outdoor warning sirens because, hey, they're meant for outdoors. Maybe you don't hear the little ding on your phone, but to that. So I just wanted to throw that out there again before we kind of wrap up our coverage, because I know some people have signed up for that here in the last few days or so. Tornado watch continues to pretty much be let go across some of our counties. And there it is. You can see that. So just Clark kind of left. But for the most part, we're done here. Jacob is getting into a position there. I see him. I think he went out on foot there. Are you ready to, Jacob, are you ready for us to come to you there? I don't know if he's ready or not. No, he's been making his way around Neoga, seeing some of the damage there. Okay, we don't have his audio. I don't know if he can hear us or not. Okay, now he just set the camera down. So we'll wait on him to see if we want to go to him before we kind of wrap up our coverage here tonight, because now it's a little past 2 o'clock in the morning. There are areas of damage that have been reported across the state tonight. Some areas hit harder than others. It really kind of depends upon where you were. We're seeing the last little bit of that cell move out of Clark County and into Indiana now, but they all clear pretty much for what is considered the WCIA 3 viewing area is essentially happening here right now. That storm is now on the Wabash River and heading into Indiana. So for all of our things here, things are calming down. Brandon Morano, you've been around tonight. Anything to add or anything that you've learned, seen?
I'll say you guys did a great job.
Well, hey.
Great job.
Appreciate the help.
I couldn't do it.
Appreciate the help. Have you heard anything, seen anything else, anything major, anything?
Nothing major that we've heard.
Okay. Some reports. It's kind of sporadic and isolated and whatnot. Probably more coming in, with the light of day tomorrow and whatnot.
Right.
So we'll be efforting some of those reports as we head into tomorrow on the newscast and whatnot. I guess Seth's got to be back on the air here in 4 hours or something, 4 or 5 hours. I'm on the morning show as well. So again, if we have anything, he's down there in Neoga here, and we're working on getting his audio up here before we kind of sign things back off. But just kind of wanted to show you what we've got out there tonight and what is left of things. We've still got several thousand people that are watching us here on the live stream. So we'll give this one last little go and talk to Jacob. He's gone mobile. He's gone mobile with the camera, it looks like. Jacob, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me, Kevin?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear me, Kevin?
Yep, go ahead.
All right, good. Just kind of looking at things here. I'm trying to make sure I got everything set. One-man band in this. Hopefully the camera didn't die on me because I'm a meteorologist, but not a videographer. But hey, we're out here checking things out. First off, we're on the 6th Street right now. There's been some tree damage in this neighborhood. They've got this area blocked off. There's a big tree actually just beyond my StormTracker right there that's down off the side of the road. The fire department is blocking things off here. You can kind of see in the trees how this area, there's been some minor damage to that. They're cleaning up some limbs and whatnot. But for the most part here, structural-wise, not seeing a whole lot. We did see that one house on 5th Street down there where that was the case. And so that's kind of been what we're dealing with here. So we're going to walk up to the intersection, and then we probably won't get any closer. But I think it'll give us a view of what happened here in Neoga from this tornado that came on through. And the hardest hit is the school here. And of course, we know the ag shop that got hit here in Neoga, and the building itself. Fire department is here, and they're on scene. And we'll see if we can't get a hold of either the chief, the superintendent, or someone with the district to kind of tell us what's going on. I see Neoga Fire here. We've got police here and whatnot. So we're looking at this more up close, as you are as well here. So that's kind of something that we're dealing with here. Again, we're going to be on just outside the school is what we're looking at here, and whatnot. Power on in most of the town, but the Neoga Junior Senior High is in front of us here, and you can kind of see, I hope you can. Let me readjust my camera here. Kind of check that out a little bit. You can kind of see some of the damage that has happened here at the school. Kevin, you got any questions for me? Anything I'm seeing or whatnot?
Yeah, so again, for people that are kind of wondering, this is Neoga, the high school and elementary school that sustained some damage here tonight as what most likely will be ruled a tornado. So there you go, you can zoom in. The Neoga Junior Senior High School just had spring break last week. Okay, they got the big spring fling coming up, so there you go. Hopefully that doesn't get canceled or anything due to the damage. But so you're down there. A lot of personnel there on scene. It looks like from Neoga. I guess kind of describe. You seeing any other responders there? Any other offices? Any other departments? Or just kind of mainly Neoga? It looks like.
Yeah, for the most part, it seems like it's Neoga here. I see Ameren is on scene. We know that they were investigating a potential gas leak, and this is the junior senior high. On the other side of this building is where the elementary school is here, and so firefighters, they're kind of checking things out and investigating the damage and whatnot. So I know it's going to take them some time to assess things and clean up. You can see kind of part of the roof on the ground here, some metal pieces from that. And for placement, this is Wilson and 7th, to give you an idea of where we're at in Neoga. But fire department is staging here. There were other fire departments helping out further away. Other departments helping out with some of the scenes there towards 45 and whatnot. But that's kind of what we're dealing with here. So you can kind of see where, it's still an active scene, but certainly not an urgent scene at this point. A lot of just investigating, checking things out, things like that here with the potential for that gas leak possibly, and the electric work as well. So that's what we're dealing with here. You can see the firefighters have been kind of walking through, and we heard from Bob. We heard him saying that the crews were going door to door, checking things in the neighborhood immediately south here. There's been some tree damage. It's not anything that's significant. Probably saw one big tree just down the road here, but then other spots have been dealing with issues and whatnot. So that's kind of what we're looking at here, Kevin. Perhaps this might be one of the harder hit areas, is the Neoga School District, but we'll learn more about the Gifford area as well to see what happened up there with the horse show at Gordyville. See if we have any more information there, of course, coming. It'll take some time too, Kevin. I know we're here tonight. It's dark. The lights, from the fire trucks are helping. They've got their tower lights kind of shining on things, but I'd say probably the big thing is we're going to have to wait till daylight to see exactly what kind of damage is in this area, Kevin. I'll say this, it seems like they're kind of heading back down. Maybe they're checking things out. Maybe they saw me with the camera and I scared them off. Either way, though, they're busy down here, Kevin, kind of cleaning things up. And you can see that the road's still blocked here. And you're able to see traffic just on the other side as well. The interstate just east of here. If you've driven I-57 before between Mattoon and Effingham, you know unmistakably what the Neoga School Building looks like here on the east side of town. And looks like the damage may have started in this neighborhood. There's another street over there that kind of goes down in front of the school for the elementary school, but kind of this side of town here took a glancing blow, and then here along, there's Ameren natural gas operations. This side of town took a glancing blow, and then over yonder on the other direction here of the building is where perhaps more of that damage is.
All right.
Let's see here. I probably could show you a little bit more of this roof damage, and real fast here, Kevin. You can kind of see more of the damage in the parking lot here. They were asking me to just kind of stay back because they're still figuring things out, but we'll get some more footage and get some more reports in this area here through the nights and into the morning, but perhaps one of the hardest hit parts of our viewing area will be Neoga. Kevin, back to you.
Okay, Jacob, I'll tell you this. We're probably getting ready to wrap up coverage, so any final words from you from tonight?
I think that the system, we kind of had a few tornadoes, as we thought, but that moisture was key, and we just kind of saw it creep up a little bit here. But us, compared to, I think, our friends down in southern Illinois, man, down that way where those tornadoes are ongoing, we did not get the worst of that, and I think that's good news for us here. But as daylight comes around, we'll learn more about the damage across the area, and there are a lot of people with the lights off, with the power out, Kevin, so that is going to be something that will take time. If you're heading out in the morning and you're in an area that's experienced some damage, I think you need to just be a little cautious and watch out for first responders, linemen, crews that are cleaning up, Kevin. I have dropped the audio, so I'll send it back to you for the final time here, I think, tonight, Kevin.
All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate the help tonight out there. In the StormTracker, we're proud to be able to bring you those live pictures to give you guys a first-hand account of what's going on, give the first look of damage and follow along with the storms. So appreciate Meteorologist Jacob Dickey doing that for us out there tonight. I will say this, we're continuing to get in some pictures from Gordyville of some multiple horse trailers that were flipped over down in Gordyville. So hoping things are okay with the potentially those horses down there and whatnot, but I heard that those were flipped over as the winds came through down there. We'll have more about that coming up. Adam, you've got some good news here.
Good news is that we got some rain out of this there, Kevin. Probably the one good thing I can think about with the severe threat. That was like the one good kind of shining thing I can think of, is at least we get a little bit of rain. And so far, here are some of our rainfall totals so far here. We'll have to get those numbers a little bit more for tomorrow here, but at least we get something. Something is better than nothing, and maybe that'll help suppress the dust threat for tomorrow and the fire weather threat for tomorrow.
Sounds good. Seth, any final thoughts there, bud?
I think we've pretty much wrapped it up here for the evening, other than, just a couple of things here or there, but I think we're good.
Well, you better get to bed here soon, because I got something to show everybody here real quick. The model's been showing this. Okay, you ready? What's that? Is that snow? That's some snow on Sunday? A few snow flurries out there? Nothing major. I don't want to get you, all been out of shape. But it looks like a couple snow flurries to me. Those little snow bands coming through Saturday night into Sunday, because the temperatures on Sunday are going to come crashing down. So that may be the case. So just something else there, guys. All right. I believe we're going to wrap things up here tonight. In our coverage of the storms are now into Indiana. I encourage you guys to check back tomorrow on the newscast. Seth's about to be back on the air with our morning show that kicks off. Seth, what time?
8 a.m.
8 a.m. 8 a.m. He'll be on there and giving you some weather updates if any information comes in. Jacob's still there. You can see his camera. Our weather garden took a little bit of a hit tonight. We talked about that. The little fence kind of blown over, so it was minor damage for us. WCIA.com through the night. There's the old trusty StormTracker. Rock and rolling there. Looking a little dirty out there after some of those roads he's been on. But WCIA.com get on there and get more information throughout tomorrow as the reporters will be heading out there and checking things out and getting all what's going on. Again, Gordyville again, looks like they sustained a little bit of damage up there with the horse show that's going on. Hope for the best there. More on Neoga, the elementary and high school, what all happened down there, and just a complete wrap up, and again, potentially more damage that we don't even fully know about. Thousands of you watched on the live stream. Remember this for the next time. We always try to do this whenever there is severe weather in the central Illinois area. All the social media pages or even on our news and weather apps that we've been streaming here all night for you since those first warnings kind of came out well, it's almost 6 hours ago now that we've been doing this. So I appreciate everybody behind the scenes as well. Good luck to all the first responders and everybody out there doing their thing to help restore power and whatnot, because it's still going to be kind of a long night for many. So, for meteorologist Adam Sherwinski, meteorologist Seth Bohnhoff, meteorologist Jacob Dickey, I'm WCIA 3 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Lighty. I hope you guys all stay safe out there tonight, and you know what? We'll be here for you on the next storm. We've made a commitment to doing that, and we'll continue to deliver that for you each and every single time. We appreciate you trusting in us to deliver this information to help keep you, your family, your friends safe. For now, we wrap things up here on this early Saturday morning, and we'll catch you next time. Stay safe, and thanks for joining us. Have a good rest of your weekend.